investigated with.
Riis.
He let you know you weren't coming?
No.
Oh, probably running late.
Coincidentally?
No. But Divine? Maybe. Can I put your package in your bag?
Yeah.
It's in your back pocket.
Yeah, we're still on air.
You're still
I
on
got
air.
it. Good, thank you.
Because I screw that up constantly.
Yeah.
And I say stuff and use language that I shouldn't be.
Charles, yes, Charles has changed. So let me ask a question. MC Light icon or not?
MC Light icon?
Is she an icon or not?
MC?
MC Light?
MC Light.
This is an ongoing fight we've had.
Yeah, what did you say?
No, sir.
I mean,
He said no.
Duke
He said
Ellington
no.
is an icon.
Ah,
James Brown is an icon.
yeah.
The MC who? He comes from the 1990s.
You and I are older than he. How old are you anyway?
I'm 46, man.
46. Well, you're
He is,
living a younger life than I am.
He is Arrested Development.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I'm going like
I smoked as a kid.
Billie Holiday's an icon.
Oh yeah.
Miles Davis.
Exactly.
That's all right. MC Light is coming back.
No, there are icons coming here.
Huh?
Where there are icons, I mean, Chances is going to be an icon.
Who, Chance?
Yeah.
You think?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, he's got
Are
a
you
long
kidding
way
me?
to go, my brother.
Yeah, but I understand. But I'm just saying,
A
if you
long
want.
way to go. Is he on your team? Is
No,
Chance
I
on
don't know
the
what team
JB
he's. I
team?
haven't asked him. I'm just.
They
building-
say
Anybody that'll come up.
You should,
and say
because
yes.
he's pretty freaking
Oh,
popular.
listen. I mean,
Yeah.
who does not want Chance? You know, I mean, he's
campaigning,
awesome.
man, every hard.
He's
you know?
awesome. Yeah,
Yeah, well, people
My
on the
kids
street,
love
man,
him.
they got your
Your
phone
kids love
number.
him.
they do. They do.
Yeah, that's it. JB's
You
my
let
guy.
your kids listen
They
to
don't
rap,
know who
man?
Duke Ellington is, though. I'm just telling you that.
I'm sorry, your name is
Dahlia.
Dahlia?
With a G.
To say again?
Only thing that I've ever asked for from these elected officials.
Martin Arboretum or Arboretum.
Which one? Because I just read that Lisa man.
We're talking about boss. Big
We
boss
talking about
man.
this one.
Big boss
Well,
man.
he's your boss.
Big boss man.
He's your boss.
Well, yeah, that's interesting because Chris Kennedy was in here and he came out like, I mean, you know, the stuff that Rauner's done over the past 2-3 years, just constantly wearing on Mike Madigan's reputation, it's starting to show some traction. I mean, there's a lot of people know
They're
who
small
he
in the
is.
building.
They don't like
Excuse
him.
me, Charles. I just wanted to meet you.
How are
Mr.
you?
Pritzker.
So
I
nice
did
to
the
meet
midday
you.
show. How are
Oh,
you?
terrific. Good to know
Good.
you.
Hi, how you doing?
Wait, do I get
What's your name?
I want the opportunity to come on your show.
Okay, nice to meet you. I'd love for you to come
You know
on.
what?
That's
That'd be
great.
great. Thank you.
Sure.
That would be great. Let
Do
me
you
know.
have your card?
Yeah.
The day part, get the right day, get all the day parts. But I mean, it's starting to wear, you know. So people are not buying into the
Yeah.
narrative that one person is more
Thank you so
responsible for
much.
this
Appreciate
impasse
that.
than the other. That's what I'm sensing anecdotally, that they aren't. That they think that Springfield's a mess.
Yeah.
And the fact that you run as an outsider
Yeah.
is helpful.
Yeah.
The fact that Chris Kennedy runs as an outsider is helpful to him. But, you know, subscribing to this Rauneritis theory, man, I don't know
I
that
want
that's
to come
good.
back to
That's
the.
not-
I want to come back to the that everybody knows JB. The buying. You know, are you buying?
Yeah.
I want to come
No,
back
because that
to
is
that
happening, man. I
question.
mean, everybody knows JB's my good friend. I got JB. I called talked to JB yesterday.
Well, it's because I
talking.
am everywhere. I mean, truly, I'm everywhere. I have tried to get to everybody, everywhere, make sure they know me personally.
Yeah, it's a lot of-
I am not one of those guys that sits in some kind of.
You're also not a
tower.
politician either.
That's right.
So
So
a
I'm
lot of
gonna
these sleazebag politicians in Cook County and Chicago
Yeah.
are all saying they're looking for something, man.
Well, they're not getting it from me.
Well, yeah, we'll see, man. I mean, you know, that's what.
What do you
that's-
mean?
That's how they.
Well, that's
how
how
they roll.
they operate. That is not
Okay.
how I operate. That is not how I operate. Period.
Mm-hmm.
It's just listen. This is too important. What's going on in Illinois? Too important
agree
to
with
have
you on
people.
that, man.
Yeah.
There's absolutely too important, man.
It's and we got to make sure that we're standing up for the principles that I'm espousing here. So I mean, these are things, you know, fighting for the black community, making sure that we're creating equity and profits in the black community, raising up low-income communities across the state. That is probably the best mission that a new governor can have.
You make some black millionaires. That's what I'm talking about.
I agree. We got to create prosperity. I came out with a plan that helps do that. And we should talk about that if you give me a chance.
Yeah, that's the Lions Den.
Well, you know, the thing
Job
about it,
creation.
you guys come in here want to talk about stuff, but we got people that don't
You
want to
should,
talk
you should,
about.
but you should want to know
That's
how I'm going to create jobs.
I want you, to give it to us.
Yeah.
And then what you do is you give it to us, and then we'll push it out. Do you have that? Is there a link to that somewhere? what you should do is, if I were whoever you got, I'm sure you've got some watchers out there. Have them put it in the feed right now, right? So you can also reference it. Go back, like if it's a website or something. But yeah, when we come back, y'all go back to the everybody knows JB thing.
Mother.
I mean, is it like is Amway? Isn't that what Mary Kay and all that stuff
That's
was?
true. Yeah.
I just never
Owned
seen
by
it.
Republicans.
I never
Known
well, you
anybody
probably
in the
wouldn't. Hit them through.
Definitely push the cause.
Yeah.
I mean, can't deal with that, man. That's way too much.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
I think so.
Jesus. In the building. Now,
In the house, and
you
he makes no apologies for his fiscal wherewithal,
I think you should.
and he lives as a wealthy man.
So,
I mean,
JB.
you can't. You
Fighting
make
for the
no
values
apologies.
of
But
the
you say
state,
you're
you
a
know,
better rich
but
guy
you know-
than Bruce Rauner
hang on,
or Chris Kennedy.
But you know that I've been, you know, because you've heard me, and I think you and I have known each other a number of years. I mean, you know that I've been standing up for the values of fighting for social justice and economic justice for many years.
But 4 years ago, Pat Quinn said we have a plutocracy, a government by rich people developing in Illinois, and that's one reason you shouldn't vote for a guy like Bruce Rauner. Now, we got rich guys running on the Democratic side. I mean, what makes you the more palatable plutocrat?
He didn't
than
complain
Bruce Rauner.
when I gave him a contribution for his campaign, and neither have the many Democrats that have stood up for social justice. And the only thing that I've ever asked for from these elected officials is that they support child.
Is Mike Madigan your buddy? Is he a friend of yours? Is he a guy pulling the strings here behind the J.B. Pritzker campaign?
No.
No.
I have been independent all my life. I have been fighting for democratic, progressive values all my life.
Do you hold him accountable for the fiscal disaster that some say Illinois is today?
Look, we've had, 685 days without a budget in
Is
this
he
state.
part of the problem?
He is. Listen, Springfield is in general a part of the problem.
Well, what
I mean,
about
we have a
Mike
huge
Madigan? I
problem.
ask about Mike Madigan. Is
We've
he
got-
part of the problem?
Mike Madigan is Speaker of the House. I have, just so you know, barely for many years have I actually known Mike Madigan.
But you seem like you're giving the guy a pass.
No, I'm not
JB,
giving him a
give
pass.
a
I'm telling you that the entire Democratic Party, listen, if you're, particularly if you're black in this state, the Democratic Party has not done what it should have been doing. There have been a lot of promises that have been made to black community all
And we
over
should
the
believe
state.
you.
Well, I'm completely independent. I have no reason. There's nobody behind me telling me what to say or do. So the things that I believe in are the things I'm telling you. That's what I'm going to go fight for. I have no other reason to fight for this job.
What about Louis Farrakhan? If Louis Farrakhan wanted to have a conversation with you, he's an Illinois resident, would you entertain him in the gubernatorial office?
I don't know that Louis Farrakhan would want to have a conversation with me,
probably
but if he would, listen, he's a resident like, the 13 plus million people here, and anybody that's going to be productive, give me ideas, want to offer their solutions, that wants to talk to me, yeah.
On that, we're going to go to the calls. Ladies and gentlemen, you are listening to the Talk of Chicago.
These systems, I become governor, I'm going to populate my administration with people who know the south and west sides of Chicago.
Look, we got a bank full of calls we got to get through. After we get through those calls, we got some final questions. We'll wrap it up. Ladies and gentlemen, you are listening to the Talk of Chicago.
You guys were talking earlier. Get back on. Toward the edge, ridiculous. We got to stand up.
This guy's
particularly
been in
for-
office for 27 months. I mean,
Well, and we haven't had a budget for a single.
Done,
Yeah.
He did all that.
If you don't have a budget, you can't take care of these problems. If you aren't willing to step up and introduce the constitutionally mandated budget, then yes, he's the one pushing it off
We
the
got
cliff.
to get to the phone calls, but I got one more question.
Sure.
Income tax increase.
1,000 people a year apply for a reassessment of their properties.
You can afford without a
That's true. I'm explaining to you what, we had 9 years I didn't apply for reassessment. Only 1 year did I. Many people do it every year. But 50,000 people a year apply and 30,000 get it. I know that, from my perspective, the big challenge here is that property taxes all over the state are too high, and we need to make a level playing field for people that allows the state to put more money into education, which will alleviate some of the property
Done everything that we're supposed to do. We turn
allow us to provide energy to
black
businesses and homes.
vote in Illinois has been taken advantage of and disenfranchised for the last 40 years. We are all members of the Democratic Party. We've done everything that we're supposed to do. And still our communities look this way. Why does a black person who has sat out, who has obviously been through Obama, been through everything, done everything that we're supposed to do, we turn out 98%. Why should a black person even consider coming out and voting Democrat?
Well, let's start with you should consider coming out and voting for me, because I'm actually fighting for precisely that. What's in it for the black people? It's creating jobs. It's making a better education system. And look at my history to know where I'm going. My history is doing that.
You got any black people working for you in your regular life?
Oh, yes, I do. And in fact, they're my partners in businesses. They're in managerial positions. And we've got more than a third of our employees here in Illinois are African American.
So you've helped make black millionaires. How do we get black dollars to the black community?
Well, we need to keep the dollars. So, okay, well, let's make sure we keep the dollars that are in the black community, And then the state needs to, in both a capital bill and making sure any economic development dollars that we can focus on the African American community, get focused there.
So how do you intend to deal with the systemic racism in the Democratic Party in government if you are our governor?
Well, remember the structural racism that exists, right? The systemic racism is a function of a history of mismanagement, a history of not standing up for the African American community. And one thing that you got to know about me is that when nobody was watching, and you should ask this about all the candidates, when nobody was looking, when I wasn't running for anything, what was I doing? I was fighting for the black community.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are tuned in to the Talk Chicago 1690 AM. This is the WVOM Morning Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson, Charles Thomas, and if they don't like it, you know what you can tell them? Maze said we'll be back. Oh, we won't be back. All right.
You're off the air, pal.
That's it? You're not coming back?
No, that's it, man.
Charles.
Hey, man, thank you so much.
It's always great to see you.
You're running, you're running, man.
Yeah, we got
You're
a
running,
we
you're
got a good
running.
race. Yeah,
Yeah.
feels
So-
good.
We
Feels
got the
good.
momentum and everything.
So who you got
man.
black on the staff for real? Talk to me.
For real, well, my political director, I got that's Sean. We got Quentin Folks, who's our deputy campaign manager, number 2. We got a policy director, Pat, who's Southsider, and just really proud of those are 3, major senior. I forgot to mention Alex Sims.
What's up, y'all? This is the Maze Jackson Show. Give us a hot second. We're going to be with you in a hot, hot, hot second. Un segundo. What's up, Chicago? This is your man, Maze Jackson. Ruthie, did I leave my glasses in this month? And I don't have my glasses, so give me one hot second. I'm going to be right back. This is comedy. What's up, y'all? This is the Maze Jackson Show. How do I do this? Let me do this. Wake up, Chicago! Wake up, world. This is the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my girl, Ruthie Moore. I do not have my man, DJ Riis the Ruler, here in the morning. So we are kind of flying solo, no music, solo dolo. That was a throwback to the old days of what happened, the original Maze Jackson Show. I was thinking about... got me thinking about a lot of things, Ruthie. But I got to tell you, man, it is the Maze Jackson Show. And you know, like I say, we must go on. Now, had I been old Maze, I think I would have done a better job of preparing for today. But I got a great script here. So I'm ready to rock and roll. Y'all, we're going to have to bear with us today because we're going to be doing the show. I don't know. We don't have any. I think maybe Riis. Hopefully Riis overslept, and we'll reach out to him a little bit later. But we got to get this thing going. So this is the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my girl Ruthie Moore, and it is Monday, October 24th. Ruthie, it is the start of early voting. Well, first of all, let me back up. Ruthie Moore, how you feeling today?
Wonderful. Monday.
Wonderful.
It's Monday.
You've been making me feel. Tennille called me the heat Grinch.
What? Can anybody touch the thermostat in your house?
Yes. I got in trouble this morning for opening the window because it was so hot in the house because clearly somebody was touching the thermostat. Right? I was like, good Lord.
But it's been a nice breezes these last couple of days.
It was a really nice breeze, and then I got up, and you know how you be like, okay, let me not even be a problem. So I got up and I closed the window. But it was a really nice breeze last night. It was a nice breeze last night. So I got it was a really nice weekend actually, weather-wise. Was you outside? Because you know you be like, when it's outside, was you somewhere on a rooftop or something doing something?
Nah, in my backyard.
You was out in your backyard? You got grass in your backyard? Okay, cool. I seen your dog had a thing on his head. Like it's the ring of shame.
It's the cone of shame.
The cone of shame. What's wrong with the dog, man? Dog, man, leave yourself alone. Get that dog some action so he don't have to be messing with his.
No, she got an ear infection.
Oh, what? Your dog got an ear? Okay. In what world? What did you go? The doctor. What was the dog itching its ear, and y'all said, "Oh, we've got to take the dog." Or was it like a?
You are so funny.
Because I mean, like the dog. How does the dog? I got an ear infection.
No, yeah, they gonna paw it. They gonna be trying to scratch it, and it's got irritated. So that's what.
The dog got an earache.
That's a real thing.
The dog got an earache.
An ear infection, yeah. And then they don't have no self control, so they just gonna scratch it.
Animal.
You can't say, "Hey, stop scratching your ear," and they're gonna say, "Okay." So they gotta put the cone of shame on. It's kind of sad though. I think it's kind of cruel, but they don't
So
have
what
no
you do? Pour the
self-control.
food. You pour the food in there, and they just gotta eat it out the cone.
So with that
You know,
particular
can't
breed, you know, she kind of low to the ground.
So it'll be scraping.
No, yeah, we gotta like tilt it up into the elevated feeder. She knows.
The elevated feeder. Okay, let me stop.
You know what I'm talking about.
No.
You see them all the time. It's just the ones that sit off the ground. You put the bowls in them.
You know what? I saw the commercial.
You want to eat off the ground? You want your plate sitting on the ground?
So should we? Do you put a table? You gonna pull
It's
up
like
the
a,
table?
you know, it's like a thing. It's like
I
an
got you.
elevated.
It's a so you don't gotta do no work, right?
No, it's so the dog ain't got to bend all the way down. It's actually better for
Because
their
the
digestion.
dog has such a hard day.
It's better for their digestion. Do you
Got
want
it.
to eat doing like that? No,
I
that's
do
not
all the
good.
time. When I'm over my
See,
plate.
you're not supposed to do. You ain't supposed to do that.
All right, okay. All right, y'all. So it's the Mace Jackson Show. Ruthie Moore, they was out shaming a dog this weekend. Did you go anywhere? Did you kick it? Did you have some libations? Nothing? All right, well, cool. Well, I'm going to tell you.
Nope.
I was up at Obsidian. We had a BP1 meeting. I then left there and cash mobbed on 75th Street with New Era Chicago. It'd be funny. Oh, I'm not going to tell my story. Remind me. Well, I don't gonna think we're going to have no off air because everything will be a hot mic. All right.
Oh, they love that.
You love a hot mic. You love us to have a hot mic. I think we might have one already. That's okay, though. All right, so Maze, Riis, no Riis. Let's look at that habit. Maze and Ruthie in the building. We both in, so let's do this. Let's get the soul play. I'm going to do it as sound effects. All right, ready? And let's get the soul playing up to 60,000 feet. We are up, and right.
I did not want my plane sounding like that.
What you don't want is to be looking out the window and see smoke or fire. Have you been seeing this lately? I feel like we're coming in that age of the planes where that first wave of planes is finally reaching their max out. Because you know those planes be like a million miles and stuff.
Listen, I keep up with I'll be watching Boeing stock.
I'll be like, all right, it's time to get a new plane. It's time to get a new jet. All right, so we are up 60,000 feet in the way. Let's do this. So I was telling you, Ruthie, early voting is on and popping. In your ward polling places is starting today, I believe. I still don't want too early. I don't want to sound like a bad person, but I don't really care for the early voting. Like I really don't, and I really don't care for vote by mail.
What?
No, I don't. I feel like I'd rather just have election day off, and you make it. Everybody, it's like your civic duty to go, and you just go vote on that day. I just feel like there's too many October.
How you gonna let everybody off?
Huh?
That's never gonna happen.
Make it a national holiday. Make it Columbus Day.
Some people still gonna have to work. I like vote by mail. I think it's a good. I think just the way the world is heading, like you just never know where we might end up and how accessible things will be. So I don't ever want to not be able to go vote on voting day because I got COVID, like now I gotta go, so it's just trying to think about like where could I be in the future and what could prohibit me from being able to cast my vote. The main thing I think of is COVID, like right now.
Man, COVID is over. What are you talking about? You ain't see the president?
I know some people that got sick. It ain't over. It's a new strain now, actually. I don't even know what it's called. There's some numbers and some letters.
They won't be telling you. It will not be. They will not have another COVID outbreak. It could be people piled up on the street.
There's some flu going around too. Some real bad flu.
How you know what the flu is compared to COVID?
You know what? I said the same thing, but they test for it for the flu.
They be like, you got everything.
It's a bad flu going around. I thought they was just stunned trying to make us get flu shots, but I know a group of people that got sick. Kind of threw me off.
That wasn't like. They wasn't monkeypox group, was it?
No, they was like, it was a funeral group.
Oh, Lord.
Like everybody, like 25% of the people got this certain flu. It was weird.
Lord. Okay. This makes me nervous, Ruthie. All right, check this out. the mayor's incredible shrinking base. Riis, Ruthie, it's gonna be a problem. Did you see this? Chewy is now circulating petitions.
No, he not.
Yes, he is. I seen it.
You got to put it in air quotes.
I seen it. And then you know who else is circulating petitions? Who just got $1 million? Brandon Johnson. And that's $1 million from the national organization, which means that Stacey Davis Gates, Stacey MF, and GRE said we got at least 3.
Mm-hmm.
That make it 4, which means he in Willie Wilson range, which means that the mayor's pie is shrinking every day. We're going to talk about this because I think it's the precursor to the meeting that black people need to have. I think Solutions, Mike, your time is here. Right? Like, I want to talk about this in a minute, Ruthie, but at 7 o'clock, I want to talk about the lay of the land. And is it almost time for the mayor? Not the mayor, but for the Chicago Black Congress. See how I did that, CBC? Not the Chicago Black Caucus. The Chicago Black Congress. See, the way the field is shaping up, Ruthie, black people got to put our best foot forward collectively. And I think it's time for us to talk. What was you going to say?
I was gonna say there's a lot of candidates in it. So I think it's inevitable that it's going to get chopped up unless we come up with a plan.
I think that we now have to look at who's in the best position to win coming out of our community. Like, who's in the best position to win coming out the black space. Right? Like, who is, because I don't know that all of us, there's people hitching our wagon to a sinking ship. Can you hitch your wagon to a sinking ship?
You go down with the ship.
But
That's
does
the
a
thing.
wagon get on the ship? So do you sink the, I feel like we are being hitched to a sinking wagon, and I really think we gotta get our name about. I think so. You saw the video of JB telling us what's in it for the black people, right? So he came here the first time, or not here, but to the other spot 4 years ago. And as you can see, myself and the co-host at the time, who is really espousing the same stuff, just different candidate. JB went to us to get his word out, and then when he went to answer the question, he snuck off and answered it in private. He came out in public and said how he was down, and then I was looking on social media the other day, and black people was congratulating JB on all the great things he had done for black folks, and I was like, how is this possible?
What? On what type of post?
It was actually
That
so.
matters.
Shout out to Senator Preston because he be documenting all type of stuff. His Instagram was cracking, so I play it back. I saw it on that Senator-elect Preston, but I was just like, dang, JB, how you gonna come to us to get the people, then don't come back to us to answer the questions you told us you was gonna do, and then be sitting up with some black folks like
number and press pound.
It be making it seem like I'm crazy, right? Like, am I crazy?
No,
like,
you sat there, you heard what he said.
I'm not crazy for, and it's like it be cracking me up when people mad at you for what they did, what they said. Like, you know, I'm like, all I'm doing is saying what you said. You said.
I mean, maybe we should just examine the validity of and the discrepancies between what people say and what they do. And I think politicians get a pass for that. That's like just being a politician. Oh, they just blowing hot air.
Yeah, but I feel like, I kind of feel offended. that he used our stuff. Like, you could say what's in it for the black people, especially back then, and black people was going to be super fired up that you said what's in it for the black people. I'm going to answer what's in it for the black people. I was like, damn. He hit it on the head. Oh, let me see what I got you. So here, let's see what he said. I hate when people won't talk back to me though. Here, let's go. Let's hear it. Here. Turn me up in the switcher, please, Riis. Cause he didn't come back. You hear me? Oh. No volume?
And that's got to be challenging. You came into office, and I sort of knew.
All right, we'll come back to it, but yeah, I don't hear it in my thing.
You want the computer or the switcher? You said the switcher.
Oh, the computer.
Okay.
My bad. All right, well, we're going to come back to it. Look, this is the Maze Jackson Show. Let's do this. Let's take a quick break, and then when we come back, we'll be back after traffic news and the weather. This is the Maze Jackson Show. We'll be back after these messages. Yep. Ruthie, this, what?
Oh, we still on?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I do think that it's kind of, I'm thinking, well, let me run through a couple more of these headlines. First of all, early voting, Safety Act. I think we got to get Sharon Mitchell on here. Maybe somebody needs to get Maria Munoz for us, and then we can get Maria Munoz on. Get Maria Munoz to get us Sharon Mitchell back on, because I want to talk about this Safety Act.
What you want to know?
Is it a purge law? For real. Like, because I see this Jeff Glasgow, like I see a Democratic state's attorney on TV siding with the other people. And then I read this story about the kid who did 3 carjackings and then got caught carjacking and got shot. It's like, here's what I'm going to say. I see all these miscellaneous posts, but I do not feel like they have gotten a hold of the messaging on this.
Well, the main person that should be, in my opinion, that should be espousing, the right word, the messaging, would be J.B. Pritzker. And you see the position that he took on it.
He said he got to fix it. He signed with the white.
But also, if you notice in his campaign commercials, which is really a good indication if you want to analyze what's going on, he does not say Safety Act because it has become a bad word because the quote unquote other side has been able to take it and turn it into something else. So they jumped ahead of the wording and kind of took it. So it means, so if he can't even stand on it, defend it, then what recourse would the Black Caucus have to stand up on it, considering the way that it was passed? Like,
the Black Caucus is standing on it. They like, we ain't changing nothing.
But okay,
I think
so if they standing on, they not changing it. Does that mean that they in opposition with what J.B. Pritzker talking about?
Yep.
So if the Black Caucus got a narrative, J.B. Pritzker campaigning got a narrative, because I'm pretty sure what J.B. Pritzker telling the black people behind closed doors is different from how he campaigning about it. Otherwise, I think it would have been more upheaval with the Black Caucus speaking out against what J.B. Pritzker talking about.
Oh, I see what you're saying. So he just said, just calm down. Let me get through this election.
I know that's what happened, because there is no way because if you just said that they don't agree, if they standing on it and JB not standing on it, that mean they ain't standing together. So how they letting JB say one thing in campaign mode, but behind closed doors, probably rubbing their heads.
How?
Like it's okay.
Did you not hear dude when he? Yeah.
But do you see the discrepancy? Like, if you saying that they cool with it, but he's saying it's not cool, what's really the real messaging?
The real messaging is, let's just get through this. Y'all don't stand me up on this. and they got to go into the community in the black community and campaign on it. Right?
But are they also saying the same thing that he said during the debate, that they were going to change it?
No.
That's what I'm saying. So it does make me as a voter feel a little bit uneasy, because if they standing on it and they want me to stand with them on it, I'm gonna need them to stand on it.
Are we standing on the safety act? Are we on this?
I don't know.
Where are we with the safety act?
I don't know. If J.B. Pritzker won't even say safety act in his commercials that come on every 5 seconds that you can't skip,
man,
then should we really be standing on it?
Can I tell you, I went to the Sun-Times today. Every 2 pages, it was a JB ad. But, that could have something to do with the 67% failure. 67. They said that there's a 13-point gap in enthusiasm between blacks and white Democrats, and black Democrats all around the country are like, whatever. They not even
kind of like apathetic, right?
Mm-hmm. Like, I'm gonna ask about that a little bit later.
That's honestly why I mail in vote too, Maze. I ain't gonna lie, because I just be feeling like I ain't finna go in there and do this. I'd rather just do it in my own home.
I feel like,
so I can Google some stuff while I'm looking at it.
Oh, what do you Google when you're looking at it?
I look at the latest news on a candidate that I'm unfamiliar about. That's the main thing. Is let me just look. I might have to look up some, like with those judges, with the whole 2 pages of judges. Like, that's tough.
We're publishing a judges list, by the way.
That would be so helpful.
We're gonna but we really only helping the black judges. Well, no, let's back up. We're publishing a judges list that emphasizes black judges. That will be coming out. It was compiled by the Judicial Committee of What's in It for the Black People First. And so Ruthie, I need you to do me some research. It's free. I need to understand. So we're gonna be talking about this thing called Freedman at some point. Because
what we need.
Freedman, I heard, is a legal designation in the law.
Them the people who was finna get the reparations.
That would be us. So maybe, I heard Tamiko talking about it the other day. And Tracy was talking about it and all that. And so I want to learn a little bit more, because I think Freedman might do us better than black. Now we'll ruin all my copyrights and trademarks.
When I read like historical documents written by
Freedman,
he's so funny. Written by black people, they might have been enslaved at the time. Might have been freed, but they do, like, they refer to us as Negro, and I know that we don't use that word anymore to describe ourselves in that way, but I do think it's something to being able to categorize our condition and our existence, the special place that we occupy in the world. And if we let them take that away, we never gonna get it back.
Wait, which one?
So if we as freedmen, Negroes, American descendants of slaves, the regular blacks, whatever we want to call ourselves, if we don't have a particular distinction, because we're gonna lose. Like, if we let them people of color us.
Oh, you see, I've been so anti people of color, it ain't even funny.
But it's for that particular reason. It's because the name is so powerful. It's connected to our inheritance, and if they put us all in the same brown bucket, then we can't distinctively say, hey. And it's really, for me, it's also tied to reparations and understanding, like, where I'm from. That's a big thing. That's a really big deal. And that's why we be lost. So I can understand people grasping on to, a sense of belonging, because that's what everybody has. It's like just a sense of belonging. Where am I from? So I think that we definitely, like, if I'm cool with freedmen. I'm okay with that.
A country called Freedman.
But you know what the challenge with that gonna be?
What?
The group of people that's gonna want to turn it gender neutral. So
Wait, what? I'm glad
so
we're
we, so
moving
I'm
to
saying,
new
so
chair.
we
Did
might,
you hear
as, we
about?
might as well just say free people. Like, might as well just change it
Oh
off
no, ain't
top.
nobody hearing that. That's the whole problem.
I'm just trying to tell you what's gonna happen.
Ruthie, then we gonna be kicked out the book again.
Listen, I'm just
because it's
trying to
in the
tell
Bible.
you.
It's in the book. That's freedom.
I'm just
so
trying to
now
tell you. Well, we gotta jump ahead of it.
We ain't letting them people in. That's the people that ain't supposed to be in it no way.
I'm just trying to say. I'm just.
That's gonna. Then they gonna people of color are free. No, free persons. You better get up out of here. We gotta put a pronoun with it too.
Don't
Man,
you?
if you don't get up out of here,
Don't you?
If you don't get up out of here. Talk about we're the free persons. If you don't get, don't even start with me this morning. Free people, freedmen, freed persons identify as he, him, they. What? Speaking of that, did you hear what happened in New Trier? New Trier, like, oh no, we not having it. They said the kids said y'all making us uncomfortable around here with this he, her, them, they. Look, we just go to school. We knew boys and girls, and look, and then tell them, and their mamas and daddies backed them up.
What you mean? They don't want?
No, they don't. They don't want to be using all that stuff. They just like, can I just go to school? They trying to get their prime back, probably. You know, they ain't even got prime king and queen no more. I said prime. Oh, let me stop. I was about to mess up. Blessed be the fruit. You know what that's from?
Handmaid's Tale.
Y'all gonna be getting y'all some red dresses. Y'all don't cut it out.
Oh, you so kind.
Thank you. Are you red? You red? Don't you want to be blue?
Color, nope.
Asia gonna be blue. All right, you straight? Can we go to break? Yes, no? All right, look, it's the Maze Jackson Show. This is the extended version. Well, let me do this. Let me say what's up to all the saints from WBGX 1570 AM. I want to thank y'all for joining us every day, Monday through Friday, 6 to 9. This is the Maze Jackson Show, where you can catch us every day, Monday through Friday, 6 to 9. Give us a call, 872-259-7474, 872-259-7474. Now, you probably got wondering what is going on. I got to say what's up to the people from Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch. Ruthie, they said I can't do the show on LinkedIn.
Why?
They said because every bit of business in the world will be over.
That's funny. They'll be sharing it and
okay. So look at all the people saying Freedman. So Salim, is Freedman a good designation? Salim, could you help Tracy? I want to do a presentation. I want to do a 3-month series on Freedman, once a month at the BP1, and then I want to switch it up. Maybe not switch it up, but I want to get, like, if that's the official designation that links us together, that takes all the confusion out. Because then we could go on a national, are you a Freedman's? Then we ain't got to be, like, getting cursed out. We could watch the Avant Orgy special in peace.
Why would you say that? Yeah, I agree. We need a collective thing.
We need to, right, because all the free black people is trying to be, ADOS. They just want to. We just want to be us.
Just trying
to be like, come on.
I mean, can you? Yeah, like it's yeah. When I do my ancestry, and then you hit the I call it the slavery roadblock, where then you're trying to figure out who owned your people, and it does something psychologically to you, like when you think about like just how language and spirituality and everything was just whoosh. Here's some Jesus, like it does something to you. It does create a sense of like, man, we need a collective identity. That's why because that's really what everybody's seeking is
right.
A sense of belonging.
Yep, we want to connect back to something. Last time something like this happened, it was like you had to to update the computer. So maybe that's it. As it relates to like the sound and all that good stuff coming out of there. Last time that happened, it was like a whole system update. So maybe perhaps it's the update of the system, because I know that the sound works from the computer because we used it earlier. So maybe if you put that in, So that's probably what it is. But anyway, it's the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my girl Ruthie Moore, DJ Riis the Ruler's in the back, working on the sound, getting it all together. Ruthie, we was talking about. Oh, how about the mayor talk about some? She ain't. Was you here on Friday when we talked about the Proud Boys? Mm-hmm. The mayor says, "How could I, as a black lesbian woman, ever defend the Proud Boys?"
But she ain't fire him, right?
Right.
That's what people talking about. She was defending them.
Ruthie, it
probably would have been best just not to say nothing.
And then she put it in writing as a tweet.
Yeah.
Can I ask a question, Ruthie?
I'm tired of Twitter.
I feel like the mayor be straight. Like, you know how you can't call a person. You know how you can't call a person a lie. Until they be lie so much, then everybody be like, you a lie. You like, they just be like, like, I almost like when she starts talking now, I just roll my eyes. Keep going. Like, all right, what does it say?
I'm gonna find it.
Yep. That's the Kamala. No, it's a little bit. Oh, well, I'm gonna stop. It's in the, anyway, so we're going to talk about the mayor's shrinking pie in a short amount of time. Did you see about the drifting mass shooting yesterday?
Woo! It took me some digging to figure out what 100 cars was doing on caravanning.
Well, first of all, the thing that I thought that I was waiting for you to say is that you saw that there were several caravans that they were monitoring, and only this one turned violent, which means that they like, we can't stop it. We just going to watch it. They said they were monitoring several. I was waiting for you to be like, Maze, what you didn't see was they were several, and they were like, this is the first time it's turned violent. So basically, just so you know, if you get caught in one of them bad boys, you are at the mercy. And they said now gang members are increasingly attending these things. Tell me the truth, Ruthie.
Whatever.
You're such a cynic.
They gotta say that they gotta
justify they gotta
sprinkle a little gang on there.
Like it used to be drug related.
Like, come on now. Like, this is something that people are doing for fun.
6 people.
That's a lot of people, though.
3 people dead, 6 shot. It's a mass shooting.
That's a lot.
Is the president going to address that?
They calling it a mass shooting? Because I have not seen that word
Ray
used.
Lopez called it a mass shooting. Ray Lopez said, are they going to talk about it on national TV? It was a mass shooting.
When I initially saw the story, I told you I had to do some digging to even see what, because I was like, what? I feel like they're talking around something, and I cannot quite figure it out. Like, what was 100 caravan doing, and who was in this caravan? That's why I could not figure out. But then you said drifting. That's the car. See, the first thing I read did not say that, because I was sure wondering, what is 100 people doing caravan, and then where they going?
Let me take you to another place, though. Can you imagine that this caravan was on Cermak and Kedzie? Do you understand the gravity of how big that intersection is? And for somebody to take it over? I mean, what do you do? You pull up on that and you get to the stoplight and they like, how many cars do you see before you say this is mobilizing? And what are the signs that you are about to be in a drifter?
So if the city is monitoring those, like you just indicated, then I need some of them alerts to go out to the people nearby. Y'all send out alerts for other stuff. I'm signed up to get the alerts. I would like to know if there's an area that I should avoid. When they was closing the bridges and stuff, we was getting them alerts.
You were?
Yeah, you got to see. I think you got to sign up for them. But it would be nice to get a warning for me to avoid an area. I don't want to be stuck somewhere for 2 or 3 hours because I'm trying to go look at the Bean statue.
What you trying to go look at the Bean statue?
I'm just giving an example. Right. But yeah, I think this is becoming a problem.
Okay. Emmett Till statue in Greenwood, Mississippi. They said that they finally got the statue up. Okay, would I be wrong? It coincides with the release of the movie Till. But would I be wrong to be upset if I told you that Matt Glenn from Utah did the statue? So I had to look up Matt Glenn from Utah. because I was like, it's not that many black people in Utah. How does the Emmett Till statue get made by a white sculptor from Utah? Like, it ain't no black sculptures. Like one of the most.
Do it for free?
No, they had $100,000 and some budget for it, Ruthie. It's like them be the thing where it be like, so all the white people is pulling for the statue because guess what? Anyway, then they said they have to protect it though, because the grave and the marker get vandalized and shot all the time. So they said if somebody knocks this statue down, we gonna put it right back up. Like, just think about how badass you gotta be to come take a whack at that statue. Like, think about just how inbred your anti-Negro-ness is. Like, they killed the boy, and y'all still shooting. Y'all can't let his memory rest. Like, I wish, like, that's when you wish it was Ghost. That's why. What's the name of the movie? What was the witchcraft, Lovecraft?
Oh, Lovecraft County.
Man, something, whatever it was. Didn't they have Emmett in there?
I mean, let's not get into it. But I think it'd be some hauntings happening. Don't worry about that.
Okay. All right. Bears game tonight. Y'all see I got my Bears on.
On a weekday?
It's Monday night.
Oh, Monday night football.
Ruthie, it's Monday night football.
How often do they play on Monday nights? Do you get one a year?
No, you get, if people care about you, you get. It's an honor to play on Monday night.
Oh,
we suck though right now. So let me say this. Let me not do that. Let me say that the Bears, Bill Belichick trying to come up in here and do some record stuff at our joint. Bears, we cannot let him beat George Halas's record in Soldier Field. We can't let that happen. But Bill Belichick, who, I just like Bill. I do. I like the Patriots as a team just because, they just be like, we're notorious. I like notorious teams. You mad? So, do something. City College is preparing to strike. Another punch at the mayor.
What she got to do with it?
City Colleges is hers too. This is the pile up. These are all the examples of how. Remember, do you don't be listening to the Maestradamus, do you? You do not listen to the Maestradamus. Didn't I tell you the mayor was gonna have problem after problem? It's gonna be a problem weekly for the mayor. Last week she was defending the Proud Boys. No, I'm not. This week, look, I know that. Ruthie, I was thinking about making my own mayor life for real. Promises made, promises not kept.
That's the game.
And it's all. My thing is, her joint be like, you could put what she said and then put the tweet that's opposed to what she's saying. Lord have mercy.
Yeah, I think people did used to lie more carefully back in the day, but honestly, I think we just living in a world where
the lie gets in the zone so quick.
Well, not just that, but I feel like pre-Trump, and I was more politically naive, I think pre-Trump, like with Obama, you could lie as a politician, but people wasn't fact checking used to be different than what it is now.
Right.
Because now fact checking is you a liar versus fact checking used to be, well, this is another perspective. So I think we just living in a time where being able to refute and counter narratives is a full-time job for people to make you to be a liar. So you can't. So the way that political speech, which is most of the time, it be, I ain't gonna say most of the time, but sometimes it just be lies. You got to get the votes. People used to be able to finesse it more. Now people just ain't going. I think that's what it is. Because I think the mayor's she always been saying stuff, but people just don't be trying to burst her bubble like they do now.
Oh, I tried to tell you she was lying when she told Ray Lopez, Alderman, if you think there are people out there and we don't know, you're foolish. And y'all jumped on Ray Lopez. See, man. All right, y'all, it's the Mace Jackson Show. No? Still no? All right. Well, I'm going to tell you what we're going to do. What we are going to do is I'll play some music then. Let me... Anyway, it's the Mace Jackson Show. Y'all, give me a second. We are having some challenges. That sounded like I just heard something in there. Anyway. All right, let's do this. We're going to take a moment of silence because I got to take a break. And we'll be back after these messages. There it is right there. Okay, put it on.
The Mace Jackson Show will be back after this break.
Hey, Chicagoland, all roads lead to Solo Beauty Supply, the largest black-owned beauty supply in Chicago. We carry a large selection of natural hair care products, plus much more. So come see us at one of our two locations, located at 9011 South Ashland or 8158 South Cottage Grove. Our inventory is growing, and with your support, Solo Beauty will continue to be a source of pride in our community.
I'm feeling good, y'all. Smiling more every day. Closer to my dreams. Hey, guapole, the food tastes better. I stopped smoking squares, healing from the inside out, making repairs. I forgave some people, thanked them for the lessons, cause holding on to it was blocking my blessings. No more stressing, worry dishonors God, so I just pray, and I'm loving my odds. Mingle with like minds, gravitate where light shines. Graduate, masters, your rhymes ain't like mine. Big dank from the west side, this is my best self. Taking vacations, hoping the rest helps. Got a career now, loving what's ahead. My spirit is free from the stuff that I shared.
I feel good now, ain't that what life's about? Thank you for new days, something to sing about. Let's do it a new way, more than just talk about. Today's a holiday, that's what it's all about. I feel good now, ain't that what life's about? Thank you for new days, something to sing about. Let's do it a new way, more than just talk about. Today's a holiday, that's what it's all about.
I'm feeling so good now, walking on higher ground. Got out the country, visit some new towns, made some new friends, let go of some bad ones. Soon as that took place, everything got fun. My life started going up, opportunities showing up. I'm back where I wanna be, no headaches and throwing up. Reconnect with the homie, it's positive energy, vibes and wavelengths. It's all about frequency. I'm back with my first love, it feel like the first time. I'm back in the studio, this ain't my first rhyme. I wake up every day, blessed as heavenly. Before I ain't say much, now I got much to say. Raised my credit score, got rid of some past debt. Heard that's attractive, well call me a magnet. Plugged into an outlet, living life outright. All on my Kid Cudi, focusing day and night. Right?
Now ain't that what life's about? Thank you for new days, something to sing about. Let's do it a new way, more than just talk about. Today's a holiday, that's what it's all about. I feel good now, ain't that what life's about? Thank you for new days, something to sing about. Let's do it a new way, more than just talk about. Today's a holiday, that's what it's all about. Feel good.
Feel good. See, my state gets busy. That's the cardinal rule.
Back to the Mace Jackson Show. You are listening to the most dangerous show. This is What's in It for the Black People Radio. Mace Jackson. Mace Jackson, the most vociferous advocate for black people in the world.
For the black people, cause economically we are not equal. Waking up to lies, can't toast no more. I told y'all, yeah, this a dangerous show. Don't go to church if you ain't trying to help us. Don't even even try to be around and can't protect us. We see the lies now of the politicians. We need money and no symbolism. It's Maze and Riis and Ruthie and Ty explaining how we all come from God, giving us tools to beat the odds. If we united, our movement gon' stop. If they ain't trying to help us, they ain't trying to do nothing. We gotta do something, we gotta stop running. It's time to confront the problem. Really, you expect, you oppressed, it's all wrong.
Wake up, Chicago! Wake up, world. This is the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my girl, Ruthie Moore, my man, DJ Riis, the rule on the ones and twos. That's right. It is the Maze Jackson Show right here. It is 7:14, and we are back in the building. Ruthie, I told you before we went to break, the city colleges are preparing to strike. And then the New Trier Township parents and students are fighting the usage of pronouns in school, suggesting that they just want to go to school. They said that all of the additional pronouns and they had the call for the formation of racial affinity groups at the school, and how did they feel in a survey, and white people said it was a racist.
Oh, it's a survey?
Yeah.
Who did the survey?
The school district. Because dog, your white people up there don't want no dang on affinity groups. Let the black people suffer racism in silence as they have. Jesus. Excuse me, in New Trier, maybe not so much.
No, I think they doing good up there for the most
said
part.
Jesus.
I have to look at the study, Maze. After you said it was a
survey set.
Because who put it on? Like what type of
the school district? They wanted to know about being racially inclusive. They go to the conferences, Ruthie. Like the superintendents go to the conferences, and then they come from the conferences and they learn. We must be more inclusive. Like we have 99. The white people be like, do you see any black people around here? We are 99% white. Does nobody cares about the little black girl in the corner with her feelings hurt?
Oh,
they don't. I spoke up at New Trier High School one time, and it was funny because I spoke in New Trier. I was on a panel. So here was the problem. I was on the panel because the white people were trying to make me the darling of white conservatives. Like they were trying to make me one of those black guys that says bad things about black people, sort of. Right? It's like I be saying bad stuff, but I gotta say it's not because you told me to say it. Like I can't do it on cue. It's
you ain't Jason Whitlock.
Right. Or
we can name a bunch of other people.
Yeah. So, yeah, but I went up there. I got the it was like, why Johnny? It was like, I can't remember what it was, but it's very interesting to have these conversations with the people from those communities, because they really are like, who is the master of those communities? Corey Brooks. Corey Brooks know how to make them white folks do the thing.
Jesus.
It's
Jesus.
It's no Trier. It's not Jesus. Ruthie. Do you understand where I'm going here? Sort of like Highland Park. No? You don't get it? You're like, I'm not participating. I'm just telling you. All right, look. I think I'm going to go do the social media question of the day. So, yeah, Riis, why don't you go ahead and push the button if you got time. Hit it for me. You got it?
It's time for the social media question of the day.
Ruthie, which white politicians have treated black people the best?
Oh.
What you say? See, this is why I'm going to say this, right? Because it seems like whenever somebody black points out something about a white politician, there is somebody who is ready to jump to their defense. Or if a black person chooses a different white person than you choose, then there is some level of selloutness that can come. If you know me, I said you're not gonna make me choose between which white boy, right? Mm-hmm. Like, so if you ask me about Darren Bailey or you ask me about J.B. Pritzker, you're not gonna get me into an argument with anybody black over either one of them. I could see, but black people, for some reason, feel like it is their job to defend white people. Riis, this is what I want to do. I'm gonna go back to the end of this interview. I'm gonna play this. It's J.B. Pritzker 4 years ago talking. I played this a little bit earlier about black people, talking about what he's gonna do for black people, right?
He said that we need
to play into the trend here in Illinois toward renewable
of
African Americans.
So
look at my history to know where I'm going. My history is...
Wait, let me get you.
Assessment. Only 1 year did I. Many people do it every year. But 50,000 people a year apply and 30,000 get it. I know that, from my perspective, from
water turbines, geothermal.
40 years. We are all members of the Democratic Party. We've done everything that we're supposed to do. And still our communities look this way. Mm-hmm. Why does a black person who has sat out, who has obviously been through Obama, been through everything, done everything that we're supposed to do, we turn out 98%. Why should a black person even consider coming out and voting Democrat?
Well, let's start with you should consider coming out and voting for me, because I'm actually fighting for precisely that. What's in it for the black people? Oh. It's creating jobs. It's making a better education system. And look at my history to know where I'm going. My history is doing that.
You got any black people working for you in your regular life?
Oh, yes, I do. And in fact, they're my partners in businesses. They're in managerial positions. And we've got more than a third of our employees here in Illinois are African American.
So you've helped make black millionaires. How do we get black dollars to the black community?
Well, we need to keep the dollars. So, okay, well, let's make sure we keep the dollars that are in the black community, And then the state needs to, in both a capital bill and making sure any economic development dollars,
Cannabis?
that we can focus on the African American community, get focused there.
So how do you intend to deal with the systemic racism in the Democratic Party in government if you are our governor?
Well, remember the structural racism that exists, right? The systemic racism is a function of a history of mismanagement, a history of not standing up for the African American community. And one thing that you got to know about me is that when nobody was watching, and you should ask this about all the candidates, when nobody was looking, when I wasn't running for anything, what was I doing? I was fighting for the black community.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are tuned in to the Talk Chicago 1698 AM. This is the W.
That was J.B. Pritzker. I gotta rank him. It's probably the number 2 best politician of black people. Here, hold on. Bring it back.
Last one. Jackie Coker, Jim Tommy. That's just a poetry question. No, but the last question is, well, this isn't really a question. It's a part of the introduction. You have the ability now. You have to govern the entire state. It's not just Chicago. And like you just said, there's Cardinal fans in the state of Illinois. There are 2 different worlds to a certain extent in the state, and that's got to be challenging. You came into office, and I sort of mirrored this with what happened with DLC during the pandemic. So priorities were changed. What you were trying to accomplish probably got changed. We're talking about life and death. We're talking about serious things happening to our state, and you were able to keep the state together. So first, thank you for that. I want to give you a round of applause for that. But what I wanted to do was first ask you, as you sort of look at the state and you look at the things that you've accomplished over your first term, what can you see as far as the results? And as you look forward to sort of this election and possibly winning this election, what are your plans for sort of the future of the state if you were to get there?
Wow. Okay, so I got 2 things. By the way, there's seems like the crowd is sort of leans to this side of the room, and you happen to be, it's easier.
Can I pause for a second? I think I'm not tripping on this forum at all, but I think we all have some real concerns. And this is an example to me of us
doing our jobs.
Okay, let me just be quiet. Here, let me let it play. But I do feel like, well, let's hear what he had to say.
I mean, look this way, but I want to make sure I talk to all of you. I want to just point out, because you said something about all of us getting through the pandemic, and everybody did their part. I mean, this was not something the governor did, and therefore we had a result. Everybody in the state that followed mitigations, that kept each other safe. You know, we have one of the highest vaccination rates in the Midwest and one of the lowest mortality rates.
But the highest black death
That's not
rate.
because of me. That's because of you.
So okay, my bad. But my thing is, I can't fast forward. Turn it down and I'll tell you when to turn it back up. But the thing is, the challenge becomes when we get these moments, we got to really ask the real questions. Even in that, for instance, why you turn? No, I'm saying, like, even when you say we had the highest vaccination rate, but we had the highest and the lowest mortality rate, but you sitting in front of a room full of black people where we had the highest. But I want to get back to this because I think it's important that it informs the question, because remember the question is, which white politicians have treated black people the best? I think JB is in the running. Turn it back up.
What you were trying to accomplish probably got changed. We're talking about life and death. We're talking about serious things happening to our state, and you were able to keep the state together. So first, thank you for that. I want to give you a round of applause for that. But what I wanted to do was first ask you, as you sort of look at the state, and you look at the things that you've accomplished over your first term, what do you see as far as the results? And as you look forward to sort of this election and possibly winning this election, what are your plans for sort of the future of the state if you were to get there?
Wow. Okay, so I got a few
See
things.
why he won't come back and ask me the question
seems like
now?
the crowd is sort of leans to this side of the room, and you happen to be, it's easier for me to look this way, but I want to make sure I talk to all of you. I want to just point out, because you said something about all of us getting through the pandemic, and everybody did their part. I mean, this was not something the governor did, and therefore we had a result. Everybody in the state that followed mitigations, that kept each other safe. You know, we have one of the highest vaccination rates in the Midwest and one of the lowest mortality rates in the Midwest. And that's not because of me. That's because of you. friends in all places.
Two last ones. Jack and Coke or gin and tonic. That's just a trick question. Sorry. That is a trick question. No, but the last question is, well, this isn't really a question. It's a part of the introduction. You have the ability now. You have to govern the entire.
My bad. That was a replay. So I want to know, who are the politicians, the white politicians that have treated black people the best? Give us a call, 872-259-7474. I got to say, JB Pritzker, I would say the number one, my ratings are Rod Blagojevich treated black people good, the best. Richard M. Daley, and JB Pritzker. The reason I put this here is because I want to understand, what is it that we love about our white politicians that would make us have beef with black people over them?
I think all the ones that you just named have the ability to deliver a resource.
Damn, you boiled that down pretty quick. When you say that, so I think that's it, Ruthie. I really do. I think that Rod Blagojevich, black people openly loved Rod Blagojevich because Rod Blagojevich openly regardless of what he said on the tape with JB. And I think that even that is a microcosm of how they all treat us, right? So I like Rod Blagojevich, but listening to that tape, it's like we were still the niggas.
But I'm not. But I think that's a see. I think the difference between Blagojevich and Pritzker is I feel like Rod Blagojevich will have them conversations in front of you, and JB Pritzker, he would more so do it in private. And I think that's why it's a little bit, when you hear Rod Blagojevich, you know, you like, oh, okay. He seemed like the type that he'll say it in front of you, but JB gonna say it behind your back.
Riis, keep me underneath. But I think JB Pritzker right now has the black community on lock.
Why wouldn't he?
Is it because of
it's because of his money and his influence.
What you said with the
I got a great idea for you though. Okay. I'm sure you thought of this one, but Jesse White. Even though I know you guys aren't like, bosom buddies or anything, it covers you on the African American thing.
Correct.
He's totally, he's Senate material in a way that Emil Jones isn't, if I may say.
Okay.
He's just, I don't know how to say it exactly, but Emil's a little more crass.
Right.
And it opens up the Secretary of State spot, which is the key spot,
right?
Controls jobs, et cetera, and it'd be a lot less pressure on you. You don't have to put an African American in that spot.
Correct.
And so you can pick an ally, or you can pick, I don't know, Jay Hoffman, or I don't know, whoever you might want to pick that that would be helpful to you if you were running for re-election in 2010. And so that seems like. I know the Jesse White thing is like, it's not a perfect thing because he's not like your best friend, but it does cover you, and it doesn't get you Jesse Jackson Jr., which, oh God, please.
Listen to me.
It would be a nightmare. I hope you don't do that. But
man.
Valerie Jarrett, I guess, I don't know if she's really out of the running, but that I guess gets you, I don't know what with Obama, but I'm not sure what you get. Maybe I'm missing something. But if you're forced to put an African American in the spot, which my guess is, you're not forced to do anything, but my guess is a lot of pressure.
I'm gonna stop it there. I still think, in spite of everything, JB ranks as currently the white politician that treats black people the best. I think historically Blagojevich did, and I think Daley did. But I think currently, right now, JB Pritzker is the most beloved white politician in the state. Would you agree? By black people. Would you disagree?
I would disagree.
Who do black people love more than JB Pritzker in the city of Chicago? In the state of Illinois. White politician. Who has been as good to us as JB? Think about how many black people he got out of jail. Think about it. Think about how much money he's donated to the Democratic Party leadership. I don't think that there is anybody that has been better to white. There is no white politician in the state of Illinois that's been better to black people than JB Pritzker. Fight me. Anybody?
I think I don't think you can count the stuff that he was able to do while being the governor, because if you're the governor, then you have the power and the ability to do certain things, like free the black people for marijuana.
But why? But he made them. He didn't make us rich though.
That's what I'm saying. That's why it's like, I think it's subjective. Like, I'm pretty sure somebody can probably name a white politician maybe somewhere that done some things for black people that probably just don't have the platform that the governor has.
Okay, so beat my list. Governor Blagojevich, Mayor Daley, and JB Pritzker, the best white politicians to black people. Like, that black people would fight you over them. I think I'm right. I don't think there are, and I don't think that there has ever been a governor that has been as good to black people as J.B. Pritzker in Illinois' history.
In what way? Just talk nice about us? Do the electric slide with us? What you mean?
I don't think we've seen him do the electric slide.
Yes, he did.
He gave us a black lieutenant.
Yeah, but yes, he did at that parade.
He did the electric slide.
I'm pretty sure we saw the
I don't
video
think he
here
know.
on the Maze Jackson show.
He did I missed that. All right, let's go to the live line. Call it. Give us, who are the best white politicians to black people? Who is the best white man or woman in politics for black people right now? Caller?
Maze Byron here.
Byron.
Good morning.
Byron. Now, don't be calling up here all serious. I see you got that serious voice on, Byron. Now, Byron, you got to tell us who is the best white people to black people. Who are the best white politicians to black people?
Rob Blagojevich.
Oh, you got Rob.
Rob Blagojevich.
Why Rob?
Yep. Because, let me tell you something. When he was in prison, most black folks wanted him out of there. They knew he was wrong. Even the black officials, Dick Jackson, all those people, they all wrote letters to get him out of there. They respected Rob, because he just like your partner just said just now. What the Pritzker do? Like he said, just give you words, tell you lie, make you feel good.
Man, he said don't listen to. He said don't listen to what he say. Look at his history. What are you talking about, Byron? J.B. Pritzker has been the most benevolent candidate. I mean, the most benevolent governor to black people since Rob Blagojevich. I gotta tell you that.
You ask the people. When they call up today. I'm telling you, they can do like Ruthie said. I bet you they all gonna say Rob Blagojevich.
Okay.
But May, let me tell you something. You open your show about voting, right? You don't like the mail-in voting?
I don't like
in
that.
In France, right? No, listen to this. In France, they just had election, right? Guess what time at night the whole election was called? Everybody was winner and losers. What time at night?
8 o'clock.
And one day,
8 o'clock.
11 o'clock at night, everything was done. They have 11 million people, and one day everybody voted. That one day at 11 p.m., everything was done. What's our problem? We make so many excuses for people. It's ridiculous. You get one day, go and vote. You just vote and don't vote. Make it a holiday? Fine, make it a holiday. One day.
I think it needs to be one day, too.
Votes? Huh?
I think it should be one day, too, because once the Republicans figure out how to mail, then we're going to be mad.
Right, and if you like you said that, well, people ain't gonna like me. See, you want people to like you, so you just give a disclaimer. Well, people ain't gonna like me because you know that you can't say that. You see what I'm saying? You know you can't say that.
That's why I want the black people to tell me.
You put your head down.
I just want the black people to tell me who is the best who is the best white politician for us, so I can know who I do not offend. Right? I want to know who has been the best to us, who treated us the best, who has fed us the best, who has taken good care of us. Because I'm just telling you, it's just bananas to me. It really is to see black. The hardest part is, Ruthie, I don't want to be a Dan, right? Which is a dumbass Negro, right? Got that? But who besides the people that are paid by J.B. Pritzker, I want to know what we love about him so much. I'm going to tell you what black people love about J.B. Pritzker so much. And I don't have a horse in the race. Matter of fact, I don't even think I'm voting for governor, period. Like, I'm voting, but I don't think I'm voting for governor. And I'm going to talk about this a little bit later. But, like, I don't understand the need to clap when there's nothing to cheer about.
Man, stop. That's the same reason why when you chain and you need to move the slaves from one plantation to another across the state, you got to sing the songs and play the drums to keep them spirits up. I'm just saying, do you want to hear the sound of the chains clinking together as you walk? No, you're going to drown it out. What's the alternative? Either you gonna get with it, or Debo gonna come on the porch and take your chain.
Look, man. So can
We
y'all?
being held hostage. You better clap. You better smile, or you ain't gonna keep your job. It's your job.
Of all the African Americans I can think that are sort of like qualified and people and vetted, and people will say, "Oh, that's a pretty good pick." The one that is least offensive and maybe gets you the most because it gets you that Secretary of State appointment is Jesse White.
You can argue he's got a lot in common with Obama. He's black and white. Oh, I understand. What you're saying there makes perfect sense. Now, he has said he doesn't want it.
Yeah.
But not privately to me. I haven't told him. He has said it publicly. If it's actually offered to you.
He would win re-election if he wanted to hold it. Just because.
It's a good sentiment. You don't want to be Secretary of State, do you, JB?
Oh, I could probably do that job, but.
This is the Mace Jackson Show. You are listening. We are listening.
Good.
Hey, how about this one? God, if I knew for sure I wasn't running again.
Yeah.
How about Reverend Wright?
Oh, my God. Still there.
Yeah. No, how about fucking sending Reverend Wright there? I bet you he'd take it.
Hilarious.
Huh? Would that be fucking funny?
Hilarious.
Oh, yeah. Right there on the Senate floor. It's not God bless America. God damn America.
God damn America.
When Barack was at Sunday school, I used to tell him.
I love it.
Capture that goddamn America for me, please. Look, y'all, this is the Mace Jackson Show. We're going to take a quick break. I'm your host, Mace Jackson. I want to talk about since y'all want to know, first I want y'all to tell me who are the best white politicians to black people? Who has treated us the best? My list is Rod Blagojevich, Mayor Daley, and J.B. Pritzker. I don't think you could top that list. And then when we come back, I'm going to ask you, what are black people in Illinois voting for this election cycle? Like, what's on the ballot for us in Illinois for black people? Part of what got me thinking about this, Ruthie, was the fact that there's a 13% gap between black and white enthusiasm on this upcoming election, which does not bode well for Democrats nationally. But I'm curious to know, what are we black people? What are the biggest issues for black people in Illinois this election cycle? Right? I want to know. Give us a call, 872-259-7474. We'll be back after these messages.
The Mace Jackson Show. We'll be back after this break. Mace Jackson.
Tune in to the Mace Jackson Show every day, Monday through Friday from 6 to 9 a.m., where you can catch us on YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, and Facebook Live. Plus, from 6:30 to 8, you can get us on WBGX 1570 a.m. That's right, it's the Mace Jackson Show, where every single day we ask the question, what's in it for the black people? And if you don't like it, you can still tell them, Mace said. We out of here. Peace.
Yeah, man. Ideas, man. Ideas.
You don't have to find me. I'm walking right behind you. And it's so clear to see that you wanna be free. You don't have to find me. I'm walking right behind you. And it's so clear to see that you wanna be free.
Let's go.
Standing my ground, I can't mess around now. It's like my time is in a bottle, captured by your love, yeah. Now I know women's got this thing going on. We can't stay around so long, but I wanna come correct. Baby, get your foot off my neck. You don't have to find me. I'm walking right behind thee. Understand clearly, that you won't be free. It's the time that you spend making me think within. Is the trust still beginning?
fade away from beginning of the day. I can see you trembling times, and I can see you wondering, mine. Is it me considered? Shoot us with it. See, you don't have to find me. I'm walking right behind thee, and it's so clear to see, baby, that you wanna be free. You don't have to find me. I'm walking right behind thee. It's so clear to see that you wanna be free, yeah. I'm just trying to be the best I can. You can call me the troubling man. Matter of fact, I'm from the side of the street. Baby girl, you're calling on me at the time that I feel your presence around me. Something that I can't let go. It's your time and everything around me there. I just wanna hold on, but you don't have to find me. I'm walking right behind you. It's so clear to see that you wanna be free.
You are listening to the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. I got my girl Ruthie Moore, my man DJ Riis, the real on the ones and twos, y'all. And I was asking who are the best, who been the best to us black folks? Who has treated us the best, Ruthie? I don't appreciate your silence on this issue.
I think you would have to ask. I think for black people, we live in a tiered
society,
a tiered political society. So I would need to ask the black elected officials that I entrust how they get treated by JB, Blagojevich, Daley, because we are tiered. We tiered. That's how they. It's basically gatekeepers. That's how they keep us. That's how they keep us. Keep us in our tiers.
So
I don't get to interact with white politicians like that. I interact with the black ones that's in my community.
So you mean to tell me, Ruthie, that you don't know? So you don't think JB is good to us? Don't you know friends that JB ain't JB? JB is good to black people.
I think JB Pritzker is good to black people in a sense that if he don't put you on politically, he could plug you with his personal and you straight. He got the juice to put you on with 3 degrees separated from him, but you still got put on. So that's why that's the power of a JB Pritzker is
he can put you on. And so all 3 of those people I named could put you on. Who black could put you on?
They could put you on with.
They gonna put you on with
the
JB.
White people, yeah.
They gonna put you on with JB.
Yes.
Who gonna put you on?
I just told you, they gonna put you on with JB.
Okay.
Because it's a tiered system. You got to go through to get up there.
So let me ask a question. What are the most important issues to black people this election cycle? Junior has been pretty adamant about telling me that black people don't really care that much about weed and gaming. Right? Like, as long as they can purchase it, it's not a priority to them.
That's not true.
You don't think so? You think, who cares? What do black people as a general?
It's a black-owned smoke shop that popped up in my neighborhood.
I seen it.
And I stopped in. I was just talking to the people in there. And I think it's a shame how black people have to create these adjacent businesses because we got pushed out of cannabis so bad that we so far behind with it that you got to create these adjacent businesses just to try to get a piece of the pie. And it's sad to me. So I think, but I don't think, when I was just kind of talking to the people that worked in there, they weren't really hip to the whole game.
Exactly.
It's because, you know why though? It's because they trying to put their head down and make their bread. They ain't trying to ruffle no feathers. How can they compete with the 10 Arab gas stations? They can't.
By the way, pay attention. Did you see what happened in Florida? Did I talk to you about this? That GTI, Green Thumb Industry, Ben Kovler, cartel, Cannabis, just inked a deal in Florida to sell cannabis at gas stations.
Oh, wow. Well, that's...
At Circle K's. No, check it out. It's a medical state. They don't even got free weed yet. So my thing is, like, they are already on to the next frontier of where, think about it, where they're devaluing the location license that they are using to squeeze Illinois out, and it's coming back. Now, can I tell you who also is big weed person in Florida? Because this is why I be mad at black people. So while this is happening in Florida, remember the legislator here that had a family member she passed the law for cannabis to be legal here, and that said spouse went to Florida and is now a top cannabis executive in Florida, where now, Ruthie, they are about to devalue the license, which means that that premise is going to come here. So after I'm not going to say their names because I got into not tit for tat, but Jesus Christ. So now what's going to happen is, after all these black people finally get their licenses and then get their $10 million to build out their dispensary, they're going to say, well, we'll put it in the gas station so your space won't happen. And you ain't getting in Walgreens, fam. You're not getting in Circle K because ain't nobody taking your little craft grow weed in no dang on. They can't put it in 2,000 Walgreens. But as the Maestradamus, I'm telling y'all now, because it's the same. Okay, so now, check this out. You're boxed out. Then they tell you that you have to have a physical location that you have to build out before you'll be able to get your license. So now you take your investment and you plow all your money into building out this $2 billion joint physical establishment, when we know that, what? Did you see what happened in Canada? Uber now delivers weed in Canada off your app. So now, after you 3 years in, and after they done got out of the brick and mortar business, you stuck with a $10 million 15-year lease that you just saw the white boys say, we not paying the lease in the West Loop, and we a cannabis company, so try and collect it, because they know they're moving away from physical locations. Because if Uber can Uber takes the app, makes the delivery, you get a printout at the dispensary, and the dispensary delivers the cannabis. So now, you, just like in New York, where it used to be the bicycle boy used to roll up on the weed joint. Like in New York, you used to be able to call the number, and a dude would show up on a bicycle at your place, and he would have jars of whatever you wanted, and you pick what you want, and then he ride off. And it was like you just had a card and people delivered it. They're doing the same thing. So now, while our good friends are losing the value in their licenses that started out at $10 million, that are now down to $2.5 million, and now they really running around trying to build out, the white boys are getting out of the physical place, out of the physical space. I hate it here. Am I making sense here at all?
Too much sense. So much sense that I would suggest y'all just Google the cannabis cartel in Chicago and just read the lawsuit. It's only I think it's less than 10 pages. But if you read it, it lay out how the players play in the game. And from there, I just started Googling, and I said,
did you Google the names?
Yeah, I did. I Googled, because I said, what does J.B. Prisker have to do with this? And I learned, it's hard when your family name is your family name. Real hard. But his family, it's the technology they investing in.
Right.
So they definitely ain't trying to do no little hand-to-hand cannabis transactions. It's the technology that's proprietary.
I am. So there's this thing I've been thinking about, right? And is it possible to have a Chicago Black Congress? Hear me out. No disrespect to anybody who participates in the JB clapping session. Right? It's like I understand everybody. That's why, and I know he is. So JB ranks as the best current active politician, white politician to black people. He's probably paid more to black people than anybody, but he's also had more than anybody. But it pains me to know that he will never, ever, ever, ever have to face us. It pains me. It pains me to know that anytime he goes anywhere with black people, he's going to get claps, regardless of, because that's the way it's set up. And it pains me to know that he doesn't, we're never, like, Ruthie, we never are going to have a chance to get our questions answered.
Not as long as people are being paid to stand in that space.
And so part of this is why I believe, turn me up in my headphones, Riis. Part of this is why I believe we need a black Congress. Right? Turn the switch over to the computer. I feel like we need a black Congress because we're never going to get our questions answered or have a fair chance
but what I wanted to do was
let me go back.
As you sort of
I just my bad.
Friends in all places.
It's not funny, yo.
Jack and Coke or gin and tonic. That's just a trick question. That is a trick question. No, but the last question is, well, this isn't really a question. It's a part of the introduction. You have the ability now. You have to govern the entire state. You know, it's not just Chicago. And like you just said, you know, there's Cardinal fans in the state of Illinois. There are two different worlds to a certain extent in the state, and that's got to be challenging. You came into office, and I sort of mirrored this with what happened with DLC during the pandemic. So priorities were changed. What you were trying to accomplish probably got changed. We're talking about like
the white people we made more money on cannabis during the pandemic.
So first,
it didn't stop the rollout.
I'm gonna give you a round of applause.
And that's my challenge, right? My challenge is I'm not mad at the organization, the pro business organization for doing what they supposed to do for their members. That's not the Black Caucus either. So that's not Alderman. So that is, so quiet as it's kept, that is the organization essentially that is who JB takes his black direction from. Right? And so without dissing the organization, what I feel like is we have a set of, our business in Chicago has been built on the exploitation of our ignorance or access. And so essentially what winds up happening is the people that tell our story aren't from us or don't have the same interests as the average black business. Now, my challenge becomes that even as that transition happens, do we transition black power back into the hand? Do we take the people that were groomed by the people that have rode us all the way to the bottom of the horse? Or do we say that's not the people that speak for us no more? Because essentially, if you were J.B. Pritzker, you would honestly think black people love me.
No.
No?
He know.
No, he don't.
Yes, he do.
Ruthie, have you ever seen?
He know.
Have you ever seen black people in the room when J.B. Pritzker come? Have you? I'm saying because he don't go to a lot of black rooms. I mean,
that's what I'm saying. So he know. I think we just Illinois is indicative of the nation, and we, like I said earlier, it's a tiered system. We hold our politicians to a certain. We hold them up as royalty in our community, and when you have gatekeepers. Like everybody got to go through somebody for the most part to get to somebody else. That's just the way that it works. The way that the system is built is fine. It would work if the gatekeeping delivered the resources back. But the gatekeeping is really, it shields a J.B. Pritzker from having to answer real questions. That's the problem. So when you say, do we have to say, okay, we ain't listening to those people no more, you really got to burn the whole system down at this point because it's so far gone, so far gone that it amazes me how white elected officials are beholden to their constituents because they understand like, okay, I can unapologetically say these are their issues and I'm going to ride for them for those issues. Black people know they use black elected officials to shield from the real issues of black people. That's the way the system. That's why I said like we gotta burn the whole system down because the way that it's designed, it don't work for us because those resources don't get delivered back. They stay right. They stay right there for that person's benefit. Which I ain't mad because we just be down so bad, but we suffer. And then when they come eat your lunch, now you realize like, dang, I ain't even connected to the people, so I really don't have no power. So now J.B. Pritzker can take out a Robin Kelly. Now J.B. Pritzker can say about the least offensive because our politicians give up that power. The power is in your constituency.
And they be like, we could trick them Negroes.
But they do, though. It's because of the way that no, seriously, it's the way that our politics are brokered.
But that wasn't even political, Ruthie.
What wasn't?
Those weren't political people.
Who?
What you just saw.
Yes, it was. Everything is political. Everything is political.
I'm saying Ruthie.
That was highly political because part of politics is likability. If you could come and sit in a room full of black people and they laugh and they cheer like you doing pretty good. You feeling JB probably felt
that's my point.
Good.
So
that's political.
So could we put JB in the list of the best to black people? He been the best. He treated black people the best.
I mean, if you define the best by wealth and resources and power and proximity.
I would say freedom. I would say he said free them all. I think that's where J.B. Pritzker's props come from. But the challenge for me.
If we could get a do-over for cannabis and you say, do y'all want to release the people from jail or do y'all want black millionaires? What do you think people going to say?
Give us Barabbas. But who's Barabbas in this case?
You don't know.
Oh, they'll be like, oh.
We'd be confused. This is just a lot of it's trickery.
But the problem is the white people got out of jail too. We get either or. They get both and.
I ain't never heard nobody use it as a talking point with white people. Ever. When cannabis, I ain't never heard nobody use them getting freed from jail as a talking point.
I'll tell you what I heard them use. I had a cannabis conviction when I was in college. And the cannabis conviction in college is usually how they became the social equity applicants in that space. Y'all, this stuff is crazy. So who's the best white which white guy is better? Is that it? Which white guy is the one that we should be like? Which white guy would black people argue you over?
It depends. Like I'm trying to tell you, like it depends on who you talk to and what they getting and what you need. If you a business person, you gonna be all on JB. You gonna be all over him. Okay. Cause he got the bread. He got the ability to literally send a text message and change your life. You ain't gonna clap for that? Clapping to get a chance.
You clapping to
to get a chance.
You want to be Mr. Drummond. You hoping that you get you a Mr. Drummond about the deal. I got it. All right, y'all. It's the Mace Jackson Show. Look, when we come back, we're going to talk about the mayor's incredible shrinking base. Brandon Johnson is set to announce on October 27th at Jenner School that he is running for mayor. Chuy Garcia dropped petitions on the street this week. And Randy Weingarten is in town. She is the president of the American Federation of Teachers. She just dropped Brandon Johnson $1 million, and he ain't even declared he running yet.
She brought it to him in a backpack.
Man, you know, she probably had somebody carry it. Look, y'all, it's the Mace Jackson Show. When we come back, we are going to break down what is going on with the mayor's incredible shrinking base. We'll talk about it all when we come back. It's the Mace Jackson Show.
The Mace Jackson Show. We'll be back after this break.
Jurassic World Live Tour. 65 million years in the making. See Jurassic World's most iconic dinosaurs. T-Rex, Blue the Raptor, Triceratops, and more roar to life with epic thrills and heart-pounding adventure. The feeling is real. Experience it live. Jurassic World Live Tour. Coming to Allstate Arena November 3rd through 6th. Free parking for all ticket holders. Visit JurassicWorldLiveTour.com today.
I love being black. Do you love being black? Yeah, I love being black. I do this for my people all across the globe. It's break. The skin I'm in fit me fine, tailor-made, yeah, I'm comfortable. And so it seems I'm still chasing my dreams. They told me, watch my step, they want to pull the rug from under you. This is transparency, my life 3D. Live every word that I utter, reporting live from the gutter. Where the mind's hard to change, but we don't give up on our brothers and sisters. Cause we all need one another. The time's getting closer, revolution, feel it coming. I can smell it in the air. Inhale it, let it embody you. Because chances are the cops pull you over, they body you. Plus we don't trust each other, so that's just another obstacle. Why jump hurdles to make a change? It ain't optional. Olympian mindset in this booth with my binoculars. I see my vision getting clear, just as what a prophet do. My music touch the people's soul, black power gospel tunes. So many styles, watch me kick them like they soccer moves. Falling rank and file, this is my platoon. Soldiers at attention, ain't no Willie lynching. This the program, who they think they kidding? Reinvent the system, total reconstruction of our mental stigma. This ain't a game, boy. Still they think I'm talking about Nintendos, that's a shame, boy. Augment reality, better fix your brain, boy. I love my people, hope they love me black. I'm going hard and ain't no holding back. Watch me react, I put my fist up in the skies like speaking for believers that one day we return to our greatest if we seek it all the glory. We can obtain it, keep reaching, keep reaching. I'm painting this picture, I hope you see it. Guess what the theme is? I love being black. We turning up, I love being black. Say it loud, man, I love being black. One more time, I love being black. Hey, hey, hey. Well, how about you? Done seen these tunes too? Customize for you a little something you can groove to. Feeling good about yourself, melanated, mood muse. Always service humble pie. We don't care about who's who. Light brown or dark skin. This right here's for you too. We are the gods of the earth, living proof truth. Say it loud if you black and proud. I salute you and that's a fact. Where you at? Let me hear you say it back. I love being black. We turning up. I love being black. Say it loud, man. I love being black. One more time. I love being black. Hey, hey, hey. Super melanation, renovation of our databases. Gotta fix the trinity to make it past the matrix. There's a rabbit in the hole. No decision, you gon' chase it or just shut up for complacency. Here's your motivation. Black power in your veins. Up to us to build a nation. European mental detox completely we erase it. Cause you can't keep fighting over old information. Probably bring it right back if you love being black. I love being black. We turning up. I love being black. Say it loud, man. I love being black. shoot up your server, corrupt the server, second file, man, it's time to purge 'em. We waking up and that's what got 'em nervous. I love being black. We turning up. I love being black. Say it loud, man, I love being black. One more time, I love being black. Hey, hey, hey.
Back to the Mays Jackson Show. You are listening to the most dangerous show. This is What's in It for the Black People Radio. Mays Jackson. Mays Jackson, the most vociferous advocate for black people in the world.
For Ruthie Moore, for Ty Stroger, I am the host of the Mays Jackson Show, asking every single day, what's in it for the black people? And if you don't like it, you can still tell them Mays said, Mayor Lightfoot, man, we ain't accepting that. We ain't accepting that. Let's go.
Yeah. Let's get down to business and go ahead and address the facts. Man, Lightfoot seems more lesbian than black. Rahm Emanuel's another case. He was just as tired. 50 closed schools left much to be desired. Police had Anjanette naked on that body cam. They suppressed the footage so it couldn't touch a lot of hands. Reminds me of that 16 shots in that cover-up. Both of them similar, so I went and dug it up. George Floyd killed, a lot of riots happened in the town. Southside burned and they wouldn't let them bridges down. Grandmother sick, need a prescription and plus a couple groceries. You gon' have to travel just to get it now. COVID-19 out here shutting all the business down. Not enough SBA loans to even give around. So many failed businesses that you could put them in the pile. If you don't survive the pandemic, it's gonna sit you down. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. Shout out to Willie Wilson, hope one day you get the Senate. We need some different players in the game to handle business. Too many shady characters like Madigan and Blago. But when you really break it down, it's typical Chicago. City full of gangsters, it's what the land was built on. Same streets with hood legends, DNA gets spilled on. Carjackers out here lurking, trying to get they steal on. Looking for a block to put them Hellcat wheels on. Let us give bogus appraisals a red line. Car crackers out here getting minimal fair time. And I'm concealed carry, I stay with the pipe. But Illinois gun laws giving minimal rights. Stay up on the swivel, make sure I'm moving tight. Check all of my mirrors when I pull up to the light. Pick my homie up from out of town, man, he caught a flight. He was hella nervous, told him, shorty, this a way of life. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks.
Wake up, Chicago! Wake up, world. This is the Mays Jackson Show. I'm your host, Mays Jackson. I got my man, DJ Riis the Ruler, and Ruthie Moore in the building. Hey, Ruthie. How you feeling?
Man.
You all right? You okay? What's the matter?
How you? I'm just tired of the trickery. If you're gonna circulate petitions, circulate petitions.
What you mean?
Talking about Chuy Garcia. Like why we got why?
You sound like Ray Lopez.
No, because it's an old political play. Like
What's the old political play?
After I got hip to how he be trying to be Harold Washington, then I saw how Harold Washington got the people to make him the candidate, and I think it's does he get to then like scrub his hands of any willings and dealings because he can say, well, I technically didn't really want to run. The people drafted me. I don't like them. I'm tired. Like we see through it. I'm tired of the political trickery.
Ruthie.
Like, just be straight up. If you gonna run. And then guess what? When he run, what he gonna have to say?
What?
Why he running?
What he's running because the people of the city of Chicago drafted him.
Mm-hmm. But no, we know he really running because he tired of ABC, X, Y, and Z. But he trying to.
What's ABC, X, Y, Z?
He gonna have to talk about crime. He gonna have to talk about immigration. But by him teetering this line, he ain't got to answer no questions. I'm tired of the trickery.
Oh, okay.
We got questions, Mr. Garcia. What's up with CTU? Didn't they tell you to stand down, bro?
Oh, Stacey MFMG.
That's what I'm saying. He ain't got to answer no questions.
Right.
I'm not really running.
I'm not running. That's them doing it over there.
How you got a whole way upside out?
He got a website with a mustache on it.
Mm-hmm.
Complete the form online. Now, somebody said in Politico today that his petitions don't have a union bug. Now, let me just tell you, he gonna have to start.
What?
If his petitions don't have a union bug, he gonna have to start all over. Real talk.
No, he does not.
Yes, he does.
No, he doesn't. He could do whatever he want to do. You see what he doing? He ain't even authorized this. He ain't discourage it, but he ain't authorize it. He can literally wash his hands of all of this and be like, I ain't do none of it. And people gonna be like, yeah, technically he didn't.
You mean like when Darren Bailey be like, I have nothing to do with those commercials. That is completely. Leslie and JB like, that's the Democratic Governors Association. I didn't make that black man blacker. That was the Democratic Governors Association that you gave $20 million to.
Right.
I'll be like, Ruthie, that is the Dan.
It's trickery.
No, it's Dan.
Trickery.
Dumb ass Negroes. And then I'm trying to. You on TV talking about some darkened commercials when you put the dark commercials on. You on TV talking about the racist da when you dog Reverend Wright. Y'all, man, please.
And then I can just
can you imagine what the
let me tell you why. I think sometimes God just don't give us certain resources. Because I would have did a live reenactment because you could tell the way that his voice went when he said that he started trying to imitate a black preacher. Come on now.
Goddamn America.
You know he did. Like, come on now. Like,
he got the money to get the robe and everything. We should reenact that call one day. Like, we should just do it. Like, I'll be in my pajamas. You be like feet
up on the beach.
Feet up in JB be on the couch in his drawers. Eating popcorn.
Feet up.
Jeeves, bring me my cheese. Anyway.
What?
JB be on the I'm gonna stop. They be done call.
Not cheese.
Okay. I want to talk about a little bit about the mayor's incredible shrinking base. Ruthie, we didn't do too much. I was talking a lot of smack earlier this morning, but the world is really shrinking for the mayor politically. Did you see? Okay, so you were talking about this earlier when you said you was tired of the trickery, but it is true. Chuy Garcia is circulating petitions.
Mm-hmm.
Now, he's not declared that he's running, but I did get a report that he is calling aldermen asking them to support him for mayor. Now, here becomes the conundrum. Do the aldermen that he is calling support him or CTU? See, Chuy is getting ready to do some people
That's the black conundrum.
Self-preservation. So do I bow down to the black people? Or do I take a chance, go after the ring, hope that I win, and then force CTU to bow down? Because if he runs, Ruthie, I think he's tearing his draws. And I think there was not a coincidence that Randy Weingarten is here for two reasons. Randy Weingarten is the president of the American Federation of Teachers. Mm-hmm. So there's this, it's local, regional, and then federal. She's the head of the federal joint. She flew in to give Brandon Johnson $1 million, sending a national signal, right? So J.B. Pritzker, who wants to run for president, who is appearing with her today.
Appearing with who?
Randy Weingarten.
J.B. Pritzker?
Yep. Who needs...
How he get a piece of this?
Because he got $1 billion. When you got billions of dollars, and he the governor of the state. And this goes back to my point of, if J.B. Pritzker is trying to run for president, he trying to get his national credit in order now. Mm-hmm. So that doesn't bode well for Mayor Lightfoot. Let's just say this. The head of the American Federation of Teachers came in, dropped off $1 million to Brandon Johnson, and then is going to meet with the mayor. Meet with the governor.
Are they trying to get the governor to support Brandon Johnson?
Do you think he's not? Remember, now you got SEIU, got Big Greg, GMG, Greg Kelly, control 90,000 voters in the region. Stacy and CTU, biggest joints. They got the most gangster organization in the American Federation of Teachers. Hence, them coming to give $1 million to Brandon Johnson. Now, I'm laying these out. So now we got CTU. Let's back up. We got Chuy Garcia. Let's say that for all tickles and giggles, the Latinos all go with Chuy Garcia. Although, only the Mexican Latinos. Because, in my estimation, Brandon Johnson and CTU will go get the Venezuelan Sigcho, because you saw that in those wards where Rosanna Rodriguez and Carlos and all of them last week already endorsed Brandon Johnson. So the socialists have already coalesced around Brandon Johnson.
The socialists have.
Yep.
But will their socialism outweigh their Latino-ness?
No. Because they don't, remember, they were the ones who undercut Chuy in the Black Caucus negotiation. So now, Chuy, who has made his career out of whacking the old Mexican organizations in the Hispanics. Remember, we got Latinx, Latinos. So now Chuy, who has been with Latinx, is now found himself in a conundrum because the socialists that are Latinx ain't necessarily going with him. They gonna stick with CTU. So now Chuy's got to pick up the Mike Rodriguez's, the George Cardenas area, all of the old school Latinos who he been taking whacks at. But let's just say, for tickles and giggles, the Latino vote is now gone from the mayor. Right?
Mayor Lightfoot.
Yep. Between Lopez, Chuy Garcia, and already the endorsements, the Latino vote is gone.
I agree.
Okay.
But remember, she had that case of Modelo, though. So she recognized that it's dwindling, and she aimed to get it back because the people that's leading that karaoke stuff, that's a Latino company, because I looked it up.
I hear you.
So she making a play. She ain't gonna lose all the Latinos.
But she losing all the Latinos.
No, not the.
You ever seen a Latino? You ever seen a black restaurant in a Latino neighborhood?
Never.
Yeah. Okay. They'll come eat your elote. They'll sell elotes on 63rd, but they go no. They're not. No, they're not. They're gonna stick with. They got two names. They're gonna be like Garcia Lopez. That's it. That's it. Okay. Now we got Brandon Johnson. Okay. Brandon Johnson is gonna get white socialist liberals. I don't know how much of the black joint he gets. He gets the 25,000 teachers, but remember, the teachers are majority white. But he's going to have $4 million. So I would expect Brandon Johnson to be on TV as soon as his petitions are filed. So now, in my estimation, Brandon Johnson plays in that Lakeshore liberal with the socialists and progressive, okay? Let's say he gets the grandmamas that just want to be proud of their baby because he's got a nuclear family. Now, just think about this. He is going to be the only black candidate on the ballot with a nuclear family, father, 2 kids, black, white, so for all of the socialism, when you present it, man, when the last time you seen an all black family on TV? At $4 million a pop. So, let's say Obama. Okay. And look, do you know black people gonna hope and change, Lord? You done sent us a new one. And he come from a Kojic church. Right? He come from Church of God in Christ. So his family is straight Holy Ghost. Okay. Now I'm just talking about the mayor's incredible shrinking base. Now, let's throw Sophia King. No. Now let's throw who is going to be the black champion, Willie Wilson. Okay, so let's check this out. So right now, if you take the mayor out the race, you got $4 million with Brandon Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
You got Chewy Garcia. You got Tom Tunney, gay, white. You got Willie Wilson. With those four, now add Paul Vallis. White people got options, black people got options. Mm-hmm. And guess who the option ain't?
Mayor Lightfoot.
Mayor Lightfoot. Because if I'm white or Latino and I got the choice of Tom Tunney, Paul Vallis, Pat Quinn, or if I'm a white woman and I want to, keep my purple pink hair credentials, I'm going to vote for Sophia King. Black woman, progressive chairman of the Progressive Caucus. So the mayor ain't got nothing coming from the white folks. No, seriously. Who white is voting for the mayor? With all of those options. Now, coming south, you got, let's go back, because you're going to have Sophia King in Hyde Park. You're going to have Cam Buckner. You're going to have Jamal Green, Rod Sawyer.
Oh.
And Willie Wilson. Where does the mayor go to get black votes? Now, she going to get some, but not enough. So now you're looking at a potential situation where the mayor doesn't even make the runoff. And I'm just going to tell you, you're going to have to show me the path to get there. Now, the key is, does all these people get on the ballot? But let me just be clear. If Tom Tunney, Willie Wilson, Brandon Johnson, where is it? Tom Tunney, Willie Wilson, Brandon Johnson, and Chewy Garcia get in the race, there's nowhere for the mayor to go. Now, here's what happens with that calculation, Ruthie. I don't know if you saw, because the mayor was gearing up. If you look at her social media, she was preparing to she was trying to compare Paul Vallis to Darren Bailey. Go look at us, because she thought that it was going to be her and Paul Vallis. But now she's got to fight a 4-pronged war with 4 well-funded candidates. And she can't call everybody a name. Ruthie, now you know what happens? I don't know if you saw the mayor's email where she said, good news is September was our greatest month of fundraising. Bad news is fundraising is slowed to a trickle now in October. Guess what happens now with that? Mm-hmm. Money to the mayor freezes. So she got to make it through. Riis, what we come up with, $250,000 to get the petitions? Now, we've already heard from I'm telling you, my reports from the street, Ruthie, my reports from the street tell me that for every 10 signatures that someone gets for anybody else, they can get 1 for the mayor. Aldermen are calling me from around the city saying, man, it's tough. Signature prices are going up. It's probably going to be $6, $8, $10 a signature before it's over for the mayor. Whoa. Now, Ruthie, here goes the lick. Where does the mayor's money come from? So now you got a mayor with 5 viable candidates. Chewy Garcia, Latino vote off the table. Between Paul Vallis, Tom Tunney, white vote off the table. Willie Wilson and the other black people. And we got Mayor Lightfoot telling the black kids to go home. Hold on. Defending the Proud Boys and Janae Young. Not to mention she let the bridges up. And if you don't think those going to be in commercials. So now my question becomes, so here's the thing. And this is where a solution might comes in, because black folks, here's what I need for y'all to understand. We got 2 bites at the apple. Now, to me, that black Congress that I want to convene seems like we should coalesce the black votes that are not already on the team. See, here's the thing. Y'all see, we can't ask JB no questions. But if you had 100 black community organizations around the country, around the city, that were all part of a black Congress that said we are going to have a black debate with the black candidates only, because we want to decide who we're going to put our collectiveness behind. Because again, to me, if you look at the math at this point, there's going to be a black candidate that emerges, and then there's going to be a white or Latino candidate that emerges. We should be in play with the black. We should be in some decision-making process of the black candidate that emerges. See, there's got to be a time when we say, okay, look, y'all, because right now black people looking for the people that we know, the people that sit in these chairs are smiling. They're going to take us off the cliff for their long-term good. Remember last time they told us to get with Tony Preckwinkle? And then Tony Preckwinkle died on the map. They dragged us to Tony Preckwinkle. She lost. They back cool with the new mayor now. Where we at?
On the island.
Black people on the island. So now, see, understanding that the other groups that are here, their future is tied to the mayor. They already got their gate bread. So now to continue their gate bread, they got to make sure that we stay on until, as long as they trying to get as many to go down with the ship as possible, because they got a lifeboat. They rich. So when you're rich in politics, you can always buy your way back in, unless it's some black people that double cross you.
But that's why people support J.B. Pritzker.
So my thing is, not all people support J.B. Pritzker. And this is, so I want, you know how y'all be like, we do this all the time, we be in the same space and it's a month out. I'm going to tell you, it's pretty much over for the governor's race. JB is going to be the governor, and I'm not running up the hill to be done. But I do say, we know we got time before this election, and we know that the 2 WGN debates did nothing to answer any black question. So my premise is, why not form a black Congress? All of the black people in the city of Chicago, whether it's the Westchester Field, whether it's BP1, whether it's ECCSC, whether it's the Urban League, Westside, NAACP, whether it's the Deltas, all the people that are not convened, that are not a declared side. So no, there would not be any BLC because they already have declared their allegiance to her, right? But the fact of the matter is, at that point, we can look around and say, black fam, here's the candidates, here's the math. We need to have a strong showing, because if we put ourselves behind one, and I'm just saying, we got to be real about what's happening with the mayor, and you got to really be thinking about politically, who's telling you to go down with the ship? And why are they telling you to go down with the ship? Because they don't want you to be ahead of them by being with your own people. So here's the challenge. I guess my question is, who in our community who are the organizations in the black community? Again, I'm talking about the community-based organizations. I know it's a bunch of people trying to get funding. I know all that stuff, but I'm saying, like, you know how Westchester Field is, and you know how, like, Rashana Baldwin is having her debate. Like, all of these black organizations that put stuff together, if only once in this election cycle. I don't want the League of Women Voters asking the black people questions. I don't. I don't want ABC7. I don't want the BLC asking questions for us because they got a horse in the race. We saw it the last time.
What benefit would a candidate have by coming to answer these real questions from black people? Ain't no benefit to that. It's actually a disservice to them.
You feel like...
I'm just being real. That's the same reason why Rahm Emanuel never went to the debates. He just went to the L stops to shake hands. Because what benefit would he have with coming to debate?
Well, my thing would be, the benefit would be, then you have an organized voting block against you. So here's me. Like, my premise would be that if you were able to get at least 100 organizations to participate, and each one of those 100 organizations was responsible for like, I want to move 100,000 black folks, because I don't think that the loudest voice in the black community should be organized labor. Right? And I'm not tripping on it, but it should not have the money to drown out our voices. The money. So this thing I'm talking about, you say it has, I don't see it having a benefit for the candidates, except for once it reaches a critical mass, and you don't want that critical mass to go against you, which is why I'm suggesting Mike Burries. See, it's one thing if there's a building momentum of black folks and black movements that's like, yo, we have an organized block that says that these 100 organizations will coordinate once a week or once a month a message that will go out to talk about organizing the black vote. Guys, because even if our candidate loses in the first round, that whole block becomes essential to whoever's next. The difference is we wouldn't be making Willie Wilson, after he lost, kind of turned his coalition over to Lori Lightfoot, who then took his votes and kicked his ass to the curb.
Not kinda. That's what happened.
Because his movement he financed his movement as compared to it being a collective. And when I say a black Congress, it's issues. We put it up. We debate. Like, real talk, the fact that J.B. Pritzker has gotten to skate through this election cycle, like, straight up, I'm not getting ready to tell y'all we need to run up the hill, and I don't want to be in 6 months telling y'all, dang, we should have did this. I'm saying that if there are 100,000 black votes, if we can touch 100,000 black people, we can determine the mayor. At least the final two, at least and then at that point, people address the black Congress because they got something. Right now, there's no benefit because you ain't got no threat and you don't exist. But if the Citizens for a Better West Side, if the Chatham Improvement Association, if all of those people got together, sent their leader, their leadership, whatever, and said, look, y'all, we as the collective are writing and signing a letter to every black candidate signed by all 100 community organizations and growing, that we are demanding that you dedicate I don't want no 1 minute timer. You can't say, how do you solve the black community? What's your plan for the black community? You have 60 seconds, sir. No. No, you got to commit your whole damn day, and we going to sit there. And even if it's not everybody but your organization sends representatives, there's an agreed upon list of questions. Guys, like, we cannot do y'all understand nobody's going to talk about immigration? Nobody? Like, we now have 3,600 and some immigrants in the city. They're moving to your neighborhoods. What community forum, what debate is the mayor going to be in? Any black mayoral candidate going to be in when they address it? And how important is it? Because it's coming to our neighborhoods. No?
But Yeah, but see, the way that the system has been tiered politically for us is we would have an alderman, a black alderman of those wards speaking out.
That's how it would have been tiered. That's why I'm saying there needs to be a black Congress, right? That black Congress says, yo, fam, we meet once a quarter. Here go the issues. Here's where it is. The ayes have it, the nays have it. But there has to be a venue, a forum somewhere where we can be like, okay.
How much of the Latino vote is in like an election or Latinx? I don't know if my mic is on or not.
12 to 17%.
Is that like in like politics? Is that like a big percent?
In this, it will be. It can determine who's gonna make the runoff.
So in this, it will be. In that case, it's like if that's a big portion, what do we say? What does a black person that's running say about the immigrants that's coming in?
I don't really
want to. Remember, you just said that's 17% of the vote.
So here's me, and I'm gonna say it one more time. I'm sick and tired of black people making excuses for why we can't have our issues addressed. Freaking Mexicans who are able to, Mexican people, I'm not saying it in a bad way. I hope that is not offensive. Mexican people who are second generation that live here feel pretty much the same way we do about that. Now, again, you are at a black candidate forum, and this is black people trying to decide. You have to make a calculated risk. Now, if you say you don't want to come answer black people votes, then you decide if the 17 that you wasn't gonna get.
See, but at a black forum, of course, you would say what they want to hear at a black forum, kind of like what they do. But nationally, they have to say the politically right answer.
And that is exactly why every other state is turned. That is why states that were formerly Democrat are losing, because Latinos are voting Republican. Right? Like the answer, we keep tricking ourselves into running to. We be more worried about offending anybody else than our own damn self. Let me tell you,
because that's how you eating off of you can't offend the people that feed you. That's why people be silent. J.B. Pritzker has funded the Democratic Party so much that you got to go along with his talking points if you are an elected official that's eating off of that. That's why the black alderman ain't complaining about the migrants, I think I'm saying that right, being moved. That's why the black elected officials can't say nothing, because we are a welcoming city.
I don't want this to be the elected officials, and that's where I feel like we keep.
But that's who we go through.
I am saying we don't need to. What I am suggesting is a black Congress of black people that is not elected, that is the people that make this city go. Sitting in a space and saying, we collectively are MF. We have been screwed up and down the plan, just like the Black Caucus tries to meet as the Black Caucus across all of the people. The challenge is we have let our voice be given through. We've tried to go through the middlemen. The middlemen do not work. So we need to have so imagine if there was a list of 100 organizations that all said, we demand, whether it's the NAACP, the Urban League, all of the chairmen say we as a collective have questions that we want answered as the black community. This organization convenes once quarterly. And it is, you have to have an organization that has X number of people, blah, blah, blah. You can set up the requirements for that. But you're not denied it. And the things that come out of that body go, and essentially you take that 100,000, you take them 100,000 collective people, and you say to the alderman, to whoever, we got 10,000 people in your ward. Of our 10,000 people in your ward, you only had 5,000 to win. So Femo, you either rolling with us or you're not. Like, my thing becomes, we set the agenda. I'm not trying to go through the elected officials, because we see. That's why I'm asking y'all who the best white people to you. Go ahead.
So, I don't know how you gonna take this, but
I'm gonna take it.
It would have to be a secret. It would have to start off in secrecy. I understand why slaves had to meet in secrecy. I get it. Because that people be so afraid to organize publicly. It would have to be a secret. And then from that secret movement, then maybe it can become, but it would literally have to be a secret if you want black people to join you.
I'm not debating that, because I would tell you that even as we discuss it, black folks will tell you why we present to us.
It would have to be a secret.
Every reason why we can't organize.
It would have to be a secret.
It's so crazy to me, because I feel like I was listening to a senator at the Illinois Legislative Black Caucus Foundation, and they was talking about how great of freedom fighters and how much they made people uncomfortable until you make them uncomfortable, right? Like it's like you all good to fight until you fighting against something that I'm for. Me and my white friends. It was kind of crazy to me. So anyway, y'all, I think that here's the challenge that I think we have. I think the people that are the quote unquote brokers, Ruthie calls them gatekeepers, are gatekeeping the end door to the mayor as compared to being positive gatekeepers for the community. The challenge with that becomes that politically it is almost impossible for the mayor to win now. If all of these people get in the race, it's literally almost impossible. She probably does not make the runoff. Yet, we will have black people that will take us all the way up to the massacre, let us get massacred, and then broker a deal on our graves.
Ain't that what happened with Mike Madigan? All the way to the cemetery with the man.
Okay. Well,
we've seen it play out over and over. Black people will jump in the casket with you if they feel like they can run your pockets a little bit more. Because we be down so bad that capitalism and capital runs everything.
Right.
You can literally cut your nose. Black people will cut their nose off to spite their face if it means the survival of them and theirs. Part of me ain't mad because I recognize that we just disadvantaged in so many different ways. Literally, how is it that J.B. Pritzker can meet the American Federation of Teachers can bring $1 million to Brandon Johnson. Everybody know what's going on with Chewy Garcia and Brandon Johnson. Shouldn't part of that meeting be the American Federation of Teachers being like, hey, J.B. Pritzker, tell your boy Chewy to stand down? Where you at on this? Where you at on this, JB? We know you and Chewy cool in that way. Where you stand on this? But we live in bizarro world where once you put a billionaire somewhere, you ain't getting them out. So of course Illinois is a welcoming city because JB Pritzker said so. So if you go against that, you're going against the Democratic Party. You're going against JB Pritzker, who funds the Illinois Democratic Party.
And that's why I hate it here. And that's
why I got to be a secret.
I'm going to tell you.
That's why I got to be a secret. Sadly, it has to start off as a secret. A very well vetted secret.
The challenge with the secret is it needs to have the masses. Yeah, and I see Ricky talking about we tried that before, and that's how we got. I want to say it was Carol Mosley Braun, but that was like on everybody and their mama. You could just show up to that meeting and be like, I am somebody. I'm home from college. I'm in it. Okay, so let me just say this. Regardless of what y'all want to do, there has to be a forum. There has to be something. They cannot just not answer no questions. None. Like none again. And again, you know what? That's okay because I got to the end of the mayor's race. And then I'm through with y'all anyway. Because Ruthie has jumped on my last hope. Not tripping. It's just, we like so broken.
Yes.
It's like.
So I don't expect broken people to make irrational decisions.
That's fair.
I don't. I can't even really be mad when a black person that I voted for stand up and say we are a welcoming city. Okay, I get it.
Yeah, I have. It's a challenge to have low expectations for me. Like I have never been one to accept what somebody just said is gonna be. Right? Like you be mad at me all day long, but you won't stop me. And I am getting to a point in this state where it's like I don't understand black people. Like I be looking at like what are we on this joint dogging? That's why I need to know who is y'all favorite black. Who is the white man that we should be grateful to? Who has done us good? Who has done us so well? I'm not mad at no political operative for doing a political operation. But for the black folks that feel like it's their job to be like, to denigrate somebody black, and I don't even like, y'all are killing me.
Why you can't? It is their job.
If you not paid, not if you.
Man, caping is a job.
You used to do that. Did the mayor pay you for that when you used to cape for her?
Never got paid from Lori Lightfoot.
Lori, you tripping? Ruthie used to wear a big used to wear a big one. So Ruthie, should we all just go off the cliff and just be with? What I don't want to do is have the same people talking about they broker and blackness the next go round. Like I just feel like if you clapping and you saying that this all good, you don't need to be speaking for us. You got yours, tap out. Be like, my mask is on, I'm straight.
I think it's important to make the distinction between those two.
What two?
And get between the people that's with you and the people that ain't with you. Like when we allow, I think the word is operatives, to operate under the guise of the best interest for black people, that's where we be messing up at.
The funny part is the tiered operatives. So I was just thinking, like, how do you get to come home?
Because we don't make. If our political power has been brokered through the black church, how can you make the distinction between your pastor telling you something that's guided by their spirit and something that's guided by their pockets? You can't do it. So it creates confusion. When we hold our black elected officials up on a pedestal like they're royalty.
What about the white ones though? Like I give you the black ones, but when the white ones come, we be like, they extra. They get extra props.
If the people that we really just need to start electing people that are willing to call it out. That's really how it got to start. You got to be willing to elect people that's going to call it out. And my thing is, if you playing both sides of the fence, that's fine. But we just need to know that that's what's happening. That's it. That's it. That's why I said it would have to be a secret convening so that those people that's been gatekeepers for a minute still feel like they can participate. They ain't gonna lose out on no bread, but we at least need to know that you here, that you on code. You can pretend you can go do your job, go get your bread, but you don't get to come back and sit at the barbecue like it's sweet. And we need to know the difference. And that's all I'm saying is we need to know the difference between who really got our best interest and who out for self.
See, and I think the next step to that is when it comes to the allocation of resources, right? Because there's obviously some money going out somewhere, right? I think if you got questions to answer. If you the man, then you gotta. If you gave JB the pass, then who do you gotta answer to? Like, do you get to come chill? If you was clapping, do you gotta explain to us why you was clapping? Or you just get to clap and then go somewhere else and be like, them niggas over there?
If you clapping, we should already know why you clapping. we should know. Okay, they clapping but they gonna bring the resources back. Go ahead, clap, my brother.
I don't know. So I'm gonna tell y'all like this: there's getting ready to be a political change in this system in the city. We have opportunity to rebuild our infrastructure, or we can continue along this path. I'm not for continuing along this path, but I'm not gonna keep running up the hill by myself either, right? It's too many people that are too comfortable misleading us. Caller, you on the Maze Jackson Show. What's up? Caller?
Hello?
Hey, caller.
Maze, you got me?
I got you. Who there?
Mike Burry. Solution Mike.
Oh, what's up, Solution Mike? Come on, man. We need you, dog. It's time.
Okay.
It's time. It is time
Okay,
to
you know-
execute the plan. So hit me with it. Go ahead.
You know I don't call in.
I know.
All right? So, and I don't have a lot of time. You are 100% correct in the direction you're trying to go in. Do you remember Kevin Smiley had a forum at some UIC with Cornel West, Minnesota Farrakhan, I think Dorothy Timmer was there, Dyson. And it was big. Okay. That's called a platform. He has a platform, and with that platform, he created a mega platform, and he brought a lot of people in. The platform has to be so high and so wide that people cannot ignore it. That's what you're talking about.
Right.
You have to build a correlation with people with small power to build bigger power. Now, one of the things that Ruthie is talking about is the secrecy. In order for you to make sure that even though people come to your meeting with different intentions, your structure has to be solid. That's one of the things I always talk about. You got to have solid structure. You can have your enemy among you, but it's going to be easier for you to recognize your enemy, because your enemy are always going to go against the truth and the direction of the people when it comes to their growth, development, and advancement. But I need you to hold that thought, because you're absolutely right. When we get together and we meet, I'm going to show you not only why it's necessary, but that it is the only possible way.
Man, Mike, hit the inbox. We got to get this together. Hit the inbox today so I can get these dates, and then I'll forward it to the R over here, and she'll get it on the schedule, and we'll get it together. Yeah, it's the Maze Jackson
Let's
Show.
do it.
All right, that's my man Mike Burry's Solution Mike. He finally got me. Finally. Like I've been trying to get you for a minute. Ruthie. Why are you laughing? Because I'm sad.
I mean, I ain't mean to throw water on your vision, but I just
you know black people.
I know black people, and I know how fearful and how crippling fear can be. And if you have something, you don't want to lose it. And so
I lost it though.
That's you. And most people look at you and say,
shit.
Ain't gonna be me. And so that's part of the challenge. That's why people don't say anything. That's why I said, okay, it got to be kind of secret. Not to deny that there's a need, but it has to be secret, because the movement will find a way to infiltrate, to stop, because it's literally people's job to do that. So it has to be a secret. That's why like a lot of great black things started off in secret.
That's why. So you know we have our own place, but it's okay because everybody can't come no more. All right, y'all. You're right. I think you're right.
I don't want to be right. Like I want to yell it from the rooftops. Like I want to show up at my aldermanic office with a list of demands and say, I want you to say these talking points for me. I would love to do that. But in reality, that ain't how that work. We are a welcoming city. I just need to know that the things that my politicians say publicly, that they don't believe it. That's it. Can I get the wink and the nod? Can I take it in secret at this point. We ain't got to take no pictures together. I take it in secret because that is the only way for us to get free. That's why it was called the Underground Railroad.
Well, yeah, I'm going to tell you. It's not looking good for your mayor. It's just not. And corporate America has shut down the money. Her burn rate is already at 50%. I would expect that they said she needs $10 million to be on TV to rehabilitate her image. She's got 2. With big money going to everywhere but the mayor. There's people that have stopped me and said, what's up, right? And I said, ABL, right? I think we need to convene the ABL and figure out which way we're going to go. Now, I think we need to look at who is our best chance to make it to the runoff. And then we need to try and make that happen. But we got to do it in secret. Caller, you on the Maze Jackson Show. What's up? Caller? You there?
Hey, yo. Yo. Hey.
Jacob, the Jake Israel, what's up?
Why they sleeping? Willie Wilson is out working them. So the more they chop that vote up, Chewy jump in, and the Ray gonna chop it up. Oh boy, yeah, he can have the teachers union and things of that nature. But every week, he gonna get that church vote, man. I don't know if he can. He's doing it by appearances, by going to a different church every week. He started early. He keeping his pressure on. He out working them, bro. And they don't have a problem with his speech pattern and things of that nature. They don't care because a lot of them come from that. You know, my mother from Mississippi, my dad from Louisiana. That's just what it is. Now, and they moved to Chicago back in the day. So they're not. They kind of used to the way he talked. Even though my mother, probably would have spoken something else. But he got a real good shot. And what more do our people need in the city? They got all the power positions besides the governor. What else do they need, bro? What else?
Cojones!
They just not working on the. What they need?
Cojones!
That's what they need. They really do. And they really do because
we cannot be capon around this mug. We be rocking around this mug like capons. You know what a capon is, Jake? Jake, do you know what a capon is?
They got the.
I know what you said before. A rooster with no nuts.
Capon, right. Okay. I know what you know what I mean? No kahunas. I know what that is. And you know from East Side. Hey, but look, last thing. We had a brother, but some of y'all thought he, because of the little slave narrative, that he wasn't going to do nothing for us. We had one. We had Richard. Y'all rejected Richard. I would have voted for Richard Irvin, and I would have fell for the okie doke from old boy Pritzker. Pritzker knew he was going to have some problems with him, so that's why he invested in old boy Billy Bob now, who running against him. That's why he did that, because he knew Irvin had a good chance to beat him, and his own people was talking about, man, what he was saying about crime is true. Shit, this crime is cool. We want to live in harmony. Nobody want to keep living over that over and over, decade after decade after decade after decade. So I guess everybody getting what they deserve, man. All right, man. Come on.
All right, that is Jacob Israel calling us all the way from Houston. Is anybody up there? All right, caller, we'll take your call. It's the Maze Jackson Show. What you got?
Yo, what's up, family, man? Good morning.
What's up,
What's up, Ruthie? What's up, Riis? What's up, bro? Hey, man, nothing, man. Just, I guess we're going to have a secret meeting.
Okay.
Secret meeting.
Everybody, we're going to have a secret meeting. You can't tell people we're going to have a secret meeting. And it's going to be a secret meeting.
So I think Solutions Mike is right on, as he always is. I mean, we have to do something. I'm always one, man. You got to punch back, and you know, I mean, we just got to punch back. I think it's just all we want to do is talk with people to determine really what their values are, priorities, and strategies for their constituents in their community, whether it's at the local, state, or city level. That's it. I mean, that's the reason to engage with your stakeholders. I mean, we're coming out of a pandemic. We haven't talked to the black politicians, haven't really spoken with us unless they've called into the show. But, you know, we need to reconvene and recalibrate to determine what the path moving forward is. So, you know, as an honest broker, BP1 ain't took nothing from nobody. So, I mean, we can facilitate a conversation because it's a conversation. And at the very least, hey, man, you might get some free chicken or some, you might get some free chicken. Like, you can't beat that. You know what I'm saying? So everybody like chicken, you know, so maybe it's just a fish fry. Everybody like catfish nuggets. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's what they used to. When they want us to come out, they serve us catfish nuggets. So all we doing is preparing the catfish nuggets. And then that's it, man. We can do the electric slide, or y'all can footwork because y'all from Chicago. So y'all can footwork, step. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what, you know, we ain't over here trying to get free or nothing. We just trying to serve catfish nuggets and chicken.
Not nuggets, though. Can we please at least get, that's Devo. Devin, was he the president of What's in It for the Black People One? Hey, he said catfish nuggets. You know, I at least got to get a catfish steak. And I know we ain't even supposed to be eating catfish no more, are we? I love catfish.
I ain't like his sarcasm about the secrecy part, though. It's not funny. It's necessary. It's literally life and death for some people. And I think we at a place where it's life or death. And if you really want people to come together, then people need to be able to know that they ain't gonna die.
That's real talk. That's some real talk. All right, is that it? Anybody else on the line? All right, y'all. Ruthie, you got anything else?
You know, let me just do a shameless plug for the Sigma Gamma Rho Gala.
That's right. Hey, y'all got to go get my tux.
Yeah, go get your tickets. Look on May's page. Maze, can you post this flyer?
Yes, I'll post this flyer.
Happening November 5th. Tickets on sale till Thursday. We going to Kankakee.
And the Sigma Gamma Rho's got me coming in staff.
I ain't getting no car.
That's because you live there.
Wage gap.
Hey.
Discriminatory. No. That's okay. Because I was going to, you know, I'm a host. I'm going to give 100%. Maybe 90 since y'all ain't give me no car.
You can have mine. Let me say. Oh, Lord. Yeah, they didn't get you no car?
I asked too. Telling people ain't right. That's how they do you.
Hold on.
That's how they do you.
No, let me tell you. No, this is... So, the way it would ordinarily work is we would work it together, and then we would put it all together, and then it would be on a rider, and then all the groups would get transportation.
That's okay.
That's all right. All right. Well, it's your sister, so I can't say nothing about it. Like, that sound like a family thing. Hey, look, y'all, this is the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson, for my girl, Ruthie Moore, for Riis the Ruler. I am the host where every single day we ask the question, what's in it for the black people? And if you don't like it, you can still tell them. Maze said, we out of here. Peace.
Let's get down to business and go ahead and address the facts, man. Lightfoot seems more lesbian than black. Rahm Emanuel's another case. He was just as tired. 50 closed schools left much to be desired. Police had Anjanette naked on that body cam. They suppressed the footage so it couldn't touch a lot of hands. Reminds me of that 16 shots in that cover-up. Both of them similar, so I went and dug it up. George Floyd killed, a lot of riots happened in the town. Southside burned and they wouldn't let them bridges down. Grandmother sick, need a prescription and plus a couple groceries. You gon' have to travel just to get it now. COVID-19